The June 24th, 2025 special meeting of the Hawthorne City Council is called to order at 5:49 p.m. We will be led in the Pledge of Allegiance by Mayor Pro Tem Alex Montero. And do we have anybody who would be willing to do the invocation? We need to pray for everything that we come before us, man. Okay, sir. All right, fine. All right, let's do Pledge of Allegiance, quick.
Everyone rise, please. First, can we say thank you to veterans? Any veterans in the house? All right, thank you for your service. So place your hand in your heart and begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all for being here. Let's see. The roll call?
Councilmember Johnson.
Present.
Councilmember Manning. Councilmember Reyes English.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Montero.
Present.
And Mayor Vargas.
Here. Okay, we're going to open it up to the oral communications on the topic that's included in the special meeting notice. Ma'am, can you read the brief oral communication guidelines?
Pursuant to Government Code Section 54954.3, the public shall directly address the legislative body concerning items that have been described in the notice of the special meeting.
Discussing the letter.
Is there anybody who wishes to address the items that are on the special meeting?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You have, Mr. Mayor, you have the card right there in front of you.
Excuse me. Well, just a moment. Let's go slow here. Yes, very good. In order, particular order, Irma Brito, can you please come up? I'm going to call you all one at a time. Can you make sure you
Alrighty.
speak into it so we can hear you?
Oh, yes. All right. Good evening, everyone. My name is Irma Brito, and I am proud to be the part of the Cape Verdean 2028 Olympic Committee. First, I wanted to say thank you to the City of Hawthorne for considering this wonderful opportunity for you to host and support the Cape Verdeans during the 2028 Olympics. Your openness and your willingness to help our team and the head of the game starting July 14th, 2020 means so much to us and to me. So with that said, we especially are excited that the idea of creating a Cape Verde house right here in the cultural center that can be served as a home base for our athletes and our delegations, but also as a lively gathering place to share a Cape Verdean music, food, and traditions. And we believe that it'll draw all the Cape Verdeans all over, including the East Coast and other parts. And of course, for the city of Hawthorne to be part of the Cape Verdean Olympic spirit and celebrate our roots. And also, we are also incredibly grateful for the city support with training, the facilities, and the accommodations. This kind of help really means a lot to us, for the athletes, and for the preparation, and for their performance as well. So therefore, we're looking forward to building a great relationship with you all in the city of Hawthorne and creating something really special for the 2028 Olympics and to get closer. Thank you again for your warm and embracing the spirit of togetherness that makes the Olympics so powerful. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for coming. Robert Wahnon, can you please tell me how to pronounce it? Wahnon?
Wahnon, yeah.
Okay.
I'm also part of the Olympic Committee. Oh, can you hear me? I got a loud voice, so I was able to meet with Alex and look at the the locations that were going to be used for the Olympics. And I'm also Cape Verdean. I was out actually in the Cape Verde Islands, which is just off the west coast of Africa, last week, and I met with some of the members from the Olympic Committee out there, and they're super excited. But they were like, well, where's Hawthorne? So I said, no, Hawthorne's in LA. It's right in the heart of LA. So we're hoping that us bringing Cape Verde will help Cape Verde Islands for the Olympics, but also put some light on Hawthorne so we can bring some attention to the city of Hawthorne that, hey, this is a destination in LA and that it should be known just like Long Beach and other great parts of the Los Angeles area. So we're excited about it. It's a great opportunity, I think, for both sides, and that's really all I have to say.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I have a super brief question for
Yes.
you. And what event are you competing in?
I'm trying to stay fit like all the people in LA, I guess.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Catherine Silva Walker.
I drove him around.
Hi there. Yes, my name is Catherine Silva Walker, and I want to express my utmost appreciation for the city of Hawthorne for allowing us to collaborate, or for your participation in this collaboration. I not only come on the behalf of the Olympic Committee for 2028 for Cabo Verde, but also for the Cape Verdean organization that is here in Los Angeles. We actually have 4 organizations in California, and we do a lot of charity events and cultural events, sharing our culture. And so on behalf of all those organizations, just want to say thank you, and just really excited and looking forward to this wonderful event. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for being here. Anybody else wishing to comment on this special meeting item? If not, I declare oral communications close ordered. The first action discussion item is from Mayor Pro Tem Montero hosting the country of the Republic of Cabo Verde for the 2028 Summer Olympics. And thank you for bringing this before us.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good evening, everyone. And thank you for my colleagues from the Olympic Committee for coming to advocate for Cape Verde. As you know, I'm a proud Cape Verde, but also a proud American citizen. I've been in this country for 41 years. So, like I said, if the United States goes to war, I would fight for it. So, but my umbilical cord is in the islands of Cape Verde. So we have 10 islands in Cape Verde that is right like an hour west of the coast of Africa, south of the Canary Islands. So a lot of people, the same thing, they say, where is Hawthorne? A lot of people say, where is Cape Verde, right? Because a lot of people have not known about Cape Verde. But Cape Verde was one of the countries that was discovered, during the colonial period, like in 1400s, right? So it's been there for a long time under the Portuguese regime until 1975, and then we become independent. So last year, 4 years ago, they participated in the Paris Olympics, and they got their first medal over there. So we are looking to see if Hawthorne would be a host city for the Cape Verde Olympics 28. So they officially sent us a letter requesting for us to help them. And basically they said, in regard, we would be honored to request the collaboration and support of the city of Hawthorne to officially receive the host of Cape Verdean delegation prior to the Olympic Games. Because you see, they have to be here 2 weeks prior to the Olympics start on July 14, 2028. So basically, we would be the host city for them to come, for example, on July 1st, and then they'll create like a culture center. They call it Cape Verde House, where we'll have food, music, dancing, almost for the whole entire month, right? From July 1st all the way to August 15, we'll have like a culture center in Hawthorne representing Cape Verde country. And, United States have a lot of Cape Verdean. For example, in East Coast, we have almost 400,000 Cape Verdean in East Coast, from New York to Boston to Providence, Rhode Island. So a lot of people in this country, and it would be an honor for us to have them here because I think it's going to bring a lot of attention to Hawthorne, and potentially maybe some other country will reach out to us for us to host their teams, so for a facility for them to train. For example, Cape Verde is going to need facility training for judo, gymnasium, boxing, swimming, track and field. So a lot of these things that we have right here in Hawthorne. So we have the Hawthorne Pool, we have the Memorial Center, we have the Betty Ann Wood Gymnasium. So those are the kind of things that we need to be prepared. And just to give you just an idea, for example, I'm going to ask our city that in 2028, from July 1st to August 15, that we dedicate the Memorial Center, the Betty Ann Wood Sports Center, and the pool is specifically designated for the Olympic 28, because we're going to have a lot of athletes coming to this area that's going to be looking for facility for training, right? For training and to be prepared for the Olympic, because they cannot go to the village at UCLA until July 14. So they're going to come prior, 2 weeks prior, so they're going to have accommodation. We need to figure it out how to give them discount in the hotels in our city, discount to our facilities, and even some type of transportation to move them from one place to another. So those are the kind of things that we have to keep in mind when we talking about being a host city, is to provide accommodation and to give them some type of relief into those fees that would make Hawthorne a destination of a lot of different people coming from all over the world.
Sir, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for bringing this great idea before us. The Olympics are, everybody's just pumped up about it. If I could bring the Mexican Olympic team here too, shoot, you guys be scrimmaging against them and practicing against them, before all the matches or whatever, right? I think you guys have a boxer as well, or so, probably boxing team, so that'd be nice to see. I think this is great. I think definitely you're asking for specific time. The closer we get, the more fine-tuned we could figure out on the time, based on the needs of those countries, your country that's going to be here. And once we get the rest of the participating countries that would like to work out here, so we could fine-tune that. I'm pretty sure we could try to talk to the hotels that we have across the street to see if we could entice them to possibly give a discount. We could look to see what our ability is as a city, maybe to assist with regards to the usage of our facilities. Maybe help out cost-wise. I mean, how many times do we get an Olympics here in LA, right? I don't even know. We already had 3. Are they going to give us another one within my lifetime, right? We've already had 3 in LA. So 1936 or 32 or something, 84, and then now. So I think it's great. I'm pumped up. I'm willing to support any of my colleagues that they come up with a good idea like this. And obviously he has a direct connection. I'm going to work on some countries myself, okay? And since I was going to say, let's try to bring Portugal along with it. But then, come on, you guys fought for your independence recently in 75. So there might be some bad blood still. So I don't know how that works out, the dynamics. But those are ideas. It's going to roll forward.
To the chair.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem, for doing this for us. This is really great. I have to warn you in advance, though, it's going to cost you a home-cooked meal and some culture. Bring it with you, because we want to experience all of it, not just what, the Olympics, which is great, but we want to know about you guys and what you guys do in your country, and bringing your culture and your food here. We would love it. So that's my invitation.
Councilwoman Andrea Reyes-Sigmas.
Thank you, Mayor. Yes, thank you for the presentation. Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem, for your due diligence. I know you've been talking about this for quite some time. I don't know if you're aware, but we had the Special Olympics that we partnered with some years back, and we're able to collaborate with them on a number of fronts with regards to transportation and housing, et cetera. Obviously, we don't know what that looks like. We know that this time in 2025, things are a lot more expensive, right? We all know that. However, as a city, we want to make sure that we have a feasibility study made so that we could assure that the services that ultimately you are looking at to provide, full service to the efforts. I want to make sure that the community that already has, say, for instance, those things in place, such as the pool for families that they use, and the Betty Ainsworth Center, which is very popular for the basketball teams and the schools that gather to host their time at the gym. So you could understand surely where my concern is for the residents of Hawthorne, and to assure that we could work together collaboratively to have a successful 2028 Olympics, and in partnership with you. And so I want to make sure that we're doing that, and we'll direct staff to make that assessment. I don't know what 2028 looks like, but as we're going today and how things are coming along in our nation today, it doesn't look like anything's going to go down with regards to price and cost. So that's another concern, right? But I want to make sure that we're fiscally sound to offer the types of services that you're looking for, such as transportation, such as hosting community events, such as Betty Ainsworth Center, the Memorial Center, and potential costs for food and refreshments and spirits, right? And when I say spirits, that's probably our own little party somewhere else. But you all understand. And so I'm all for it. I support it. And I don't think we'll have, I don't think a delay in a vote, but I just want to make sure that we're looking at the whole picture with regards to fiscally being responsible. And so with that, I'll yield back my time. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, for your comments. I think this is good. I don't know what you had in mind, but do you have like?
Just let me comment a little bit, then I'll tell you what I have in mind.
Okay.
But for Councilwoman English, don't worry about food and entertainment. That's going to be all provided by the Cape Verde Olympic and the Cape Verde Association, right? Basically, yes, we do have to come up with a plan about time and schedule for the Memorial Center for the Betty Ainsworth, because that's what the main things are going to take place. But tonight, I want us to make officially, so I want to make a motion that City of Hawthorne will be a host for Cape Verde 2028 Olympic. That's my motion.
Can I add an element to that? Oh, you're hating me already. No. You think I'm gonna tear it down? But as part of that, I want to make sure that the City of Hawthorne's residents are invited to all the parties. That's fair, right? You didn't mention that. I had to put that in there, right? To all the celebration, right?
No, definitely. That's what we want. We want the people of Hawthorne and the surrounding cities to come down to our cities and enjoy the culture. It's all about having the culture right here in the center of Hawthorne. And we're going to say, look, Hawthorne is going to have maybe Cape Verde, it's going to have Nigeria, it's going to have Portugal, it's going to have Mexico, all in one, right here in our city, right? To have fun. That's what it's all about.
Sir. As
part
part
of
of
motion.
Second,
Okay.
please vote. Angie.
I'm waiting.
All right, thank you.
The votes are in. Voting reflects mayor and council approving this item.
Okay, Mayor Pro Tem, this is your item, you're leading it, but I think this is going to set up the layout for the availability of the locations. And so I'm interested in seeing what that looks like, so that we could maybe relatively soon, so that we could just start soliciting other Olympic committees to also come here. So we just need to see, like all the availability and everything,
Yeah, so I already have in communication with Ms. Kawanabui and Vaughn, and we will come up with a plan. But like I said, since Cape Verde is my number one priority, but the other ones can still come.
Oh, okay. All right, thank you.
And I'll just congratulations, and I hope all efforts are, great efforts, and anything I could do to assist, please let me know. Thank you.
All right, if there's no other comments from council members or staff, this meeting, we're going to take a 2-3 minute break in between meetings, so we need a 2-3 minute break.
Yes.
All right, we need a 2-3 minute break. Meeting is adjourned this first meeting is adjourned at 6:08. The June 24, 2025 regular meeting of the Hawthorne City Council is called to order at 6:16 p.m. Pastor Magdalani, if you could do the invocation today for us, and we will be led in the Pledge of Allegiance by Mayor Pro Tem today. Invocation first, please.
Good evening, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, council, staff, everyone. I have a scripture and a short prayer tonight. The scripture's from John chapter 14, verse 27, and it's Jesus, and he says this: "Peace I leave with you. My peace I give you, not as the world gives do I give to you. Let not your heart be troubled, neither let it be afraid." Let's pray. Father God, we do thank you for your presence here tonight. We know, Lord God, that in your presence is fullness of joy. And Lord, we do thank you for the peace that you promise. Peace with you, peace within ourselves personally, and peace with our fellow man. And Lord God, we would pray that that peace would be acknowledged globally, nationally, and locally. And Lord, I thank you that you made us, your followers, to be instruments of that peace and examples of that peace. We thank you for this city and your peace and blessing and protection upon it, Lord. We thank you for every citizen, children, youth, adults, seniors. We thank you for our first responders. Pray that you bless and protect them as they protect us. We commit this meeting to you. We thank you for integrity, humility, and unity among your servants. We commit every detail to you and pray that your kingdom would come, your will would be done. I personally pray this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Everyone, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Who's going to lead it, please?
The veterans in the house, raise your hand, please. Thank you for your service. That's on our flag. Again, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation,
Under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, gentlemen, for the Pledge of Allegiance and the invocation. The roll call, please.
Councilmember Johnson,
Present.
Councilmember Manning, Councilmember Reyes English,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Montero,
Present.
and Mayor Vargas.
Here. And I want to note that Councilwoman Katrina Manning is excused. She called. Okay. So we have a proclamation tonight, which will be given by Mayor Pro Tem Montero. Mayor Pro Tem, just please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So bear with me because my head is in the cloud because my sinus is acting up. So I'm going to call firefighter specialist Luis Goodell. So it reads, City of Hawthorne, a proclamation to the firefighter specialist Luis Goodell. The safety, security, and well-being of our community depend upon the courage, dedication, and service to exceptional individuals who go above and beyond in their commitment to protect others. And firefighter Luis Goodell, a 13-year veteran of the Los Angeles County Fire Department, has faithfully served the City of Hawthorne since 2020, earning the admiration of his colleagues and the respect of the community through his steadfast professionalism, integrity, and compassion. And in January 2025, Mr. Goodell was deployed to both the Palisade fire and the huge fire for the Altadena fire for a combined 17 days, where he held an essential role in firefighting operations, search and rescue and recovery effort, demonstrating resolve, teamwork, and leadership under immense pressure. And Mr. Goodell is now not only a first responder, but a mentor and an advocate, actively guiding aspiring firefighters and supporting fellow veterans with encouragement, resource, and mentorship to help them succeed in the service and in life. And Mr. Goodell's outstanding service, technical skill, dedication to equity and education, and personal commitment to the excellence have brought great credit to himself, to the Los Angeles County Fire Department, and to the broad firefighter professionalism. Be known that City of Hawthorne proclaimed that the City of Hawthorne recognized and honored Luis Goodell for his exceptional service and last contribution to the both City of Hawthorne and the County of Los Angeles region through his active contribution to the safety, equity, and the spirit of our community. Proclaimed this 24th day of June 2025. Thank you, Mr. Goodell.
Thank you very much.
We'll be stay right there, but do you want to say a few words before I call our police office?
Absolutely. I'm very proud to be a part of the city. I've been working here now for over 5 years. I dedicate my life and commit my work to giving back and being a servant to not only our community, but our country. So thank you very much for the recognition.
No, thank you for your service. So you can stand right there. I'll be there with you. At this time, I'm going to call the Detective Gonzalez Gardenas. The City of Hawthorne proudly recognizes individuals who exemplary outstanding service, dedication, and integrity in performance their duties. And Detective Gonzalo Gardenas has honorably served the Hawthorne Police Department since 2018, beginning his journey as a police officer recruit at the Los Angeles County Sheriff Academy and rising through the rank due to his professionalism, diligence, and commitment to the excellence. And through his years of service, Detective Gardenas has distinguished himself as a model officer, earning the respect of his colleagues, supervisors through his tireless work ethic, his ability to take complex investigation, and his unwavering commitment to the public safety. And in 2004, Detective Gardenas was selected as a founding member of the Hawthorne Police Department Real-Time Information Center, RTIC, where his expertise in forensic and analytical work has revolutionized the department investigation capability and earned him a special role with the Beverly Hills Police Department as a forensic unit. And his leadership, integrity, and unwavering commitment to the safety and well-being of the community make him a most deserving recipient of the Kiwanis and Rotary Police Office of the Year. Be it known that the City of Hawthorne hereby commends and congratulates Detective Gonzalez Gardenas for his exemplary service and contribution to our city, and to extend his deepest gratitude and admiration for his outstanding achievement. Proclaim this 24th day of June 2025. Congratulations, Mr. Gardenas.
Thank you very much. I just want to take a moment to thank the City of Hawthorne officials and our police department, administrative, and leadership staff for taking a chance on me. Thank you for allowing me to do what I love. I'm grateful for the opportunity to serve, and I will continue doing so. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And I have to mention that these two gentlemen was recognized about a week ago at the Kiwanis and Rotary Police and Officer Honorary of the Year. So congratulations again. My colleagues.
And to the chair. Well, thank you so much, gentlemen. Both fire and police, as you know, are very important to the City of Hawthorne. I'd like to commend you both for your efforts and, more importantly, for the recognition today. I look forward to having more from LA County and fire here and our police as something that we do on a regular basis, because truly public safety is a number one factor for the City of Hawthorne, and that's one of the priorities that most of all of us here on the council truly believe in and have been looking to make sure that policy implements those safety components. So again, congratulations to you both. I look forward to more collaboration, and yeah, thank you so much.
To the chair. I want to say thank you very much for everything that you do. I completely understand how much of a sacrifice this is in your life to your family. Just putting on the uniform and going out there and doing your job, both for fire and police. They're both very dangerous jobs. So I want to tell you from the bottom of my heart, we appreciate you keeping us safe and watching out for us while we're sleeping and enjoying our lives. So we appreciate you.
Thank you guys for keeping us safe. We have, the best police department, and we know we're serviced by our, friends at the LA County Fire Department. So I'm really proud to have you guys in our city, and you guys are exemplary models within your respective departments. So thank you for keeping us safe.
You can guys step this way, please.
All right, and then 3, 2, 1. Stay right there. And 3, 2, 1. And 3, 2, 1.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Next, we have a presentation by our Housing Director, Kimberly Mack. Ms. Mack?
Good evening, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, council members. I am Kimberly Mack, Director of Housing, and tonight I'm going to introduce to you PACE Financing. They are a company who reached out to establish a relationship with the city, and I'm going to present Mr. Gabe Holbert up to the podium to start the presentation for you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Kimberly. Good evening. My name's Gabe Hulbert. I'm with the Government Affairs team at Home Run Financing. With me today is our Senior Vice President of Government Affairs, Rachel Hobbs, and also Nancy Ortiz, one of our compliance managers. So back in 2008, the California legislature realized that in order to meet the state's climate goals of having zero carbon emissions, there would be a need to serve the lower to middle income communities that didn't discriminate based on FICO scores and came and used PACE. It stands for Property Assessed Clean Energy, and it uses a special property tax assessment to finance green energy upgrades such as solar panels, drought-tolerant landscaping, efficient HVACs, EV chargers as well. So if any of you have questions, please feel free to interrupt me here. So you might ask, what's the benefit for homeowners here? So cool thing with PACE is that eligibility is based on the ability to repay and the equity in the property instead of the FICO score. It's $0 down for the homeowner, and it is paid directly through their property tax bill as a line item, fully fixed and amortized rates, and this enables homeowners to have access to the green economy who otherwise might not have it. So there's been impactful changes since 2008 when PACE was passed. The big one in 2017, AB 1284 in Sacramento passed. It is a comprehensive regulatory bill for PACE. It established the state's Department of Financial Protection and Innovation as the regulator of PACE. and also added the ability to repay as an income verification that's included as part of underwriting standards when looking at applications. As of 2019, all the PACE administrators in California, including Home Run Financing, my company here, regulated and licensed by the DFPI. Now going to introduce Nancy Ortiz with our compliance department to go over these next 2 slides.
Thank you, Gabe. Can you guys hear me? Buenas tardes, alcalde, vicealcalde y personal municipal. Gracias por tenernos esta noche y poderles hablar del programa PACE. Me llamo Nancy Ortiz y soy gerente del Departamento de Complemento. Todos nuestros equipos, servicio al cliente, hablan español como yo. Proporcionamos nuestros documentos, realizamos nuestras llamadas en español, si es el idioma preferido del cliente. I would now like to go over our consumer protections that we currently have in place for home run financing. We do require confirmation term calls with all our homeowners, which are recorded. We do have 3-day right of rescissions for the homeowners, 5 days if homeowners are over the age of 65, if they change their mind. Language accessibility, which we do offer Spanish speakers in our call center. We do also require a signed certificate of installation by the homeowner confirming that the project has been completed to their satisfaction. Along with that, we do a closing call, which is required, verbally confirming with the homeowner that the project is completed. Additionally, we do collect closed permits on the projects. We also conduct inspections using TruePic, validating that the project has been completed at the subject property. Moving on to our contractor management, home run financing, before we have a contractor, we have to approve them. They have to go through our vetting process. We need to make sure that they have all their licenses, up-to-date insurances, active CSLB. We go through their screening, social media accounts, consumer reviews. Contractors are also required to take the PACE training, which goes into further detail of PACE residential guidelines. Home run financing also takes precaution measures to our approved contractors and is constantly in communication with other PACE providers and is also on the lookout of bad actors, because there's always bad actors out there. So that's always something that we're always trying to fight and make sure that we're in the lookout of that. Thank you again. I'm going to hand it to Gabe so he can finish our presentation. Gracias.
Thank you, Nancy. So as Nancy mentioned, there is robust consumer protection and also other features with PACE financing that you're just not going to find with other methods of financing on the market, be it home equity lines of credit or unsecured debt, as you can see here. So mentioned earlier, there's over 80 eligible improvements, the big one being energy efficiency, roofing, HVAC, renewable energy being solar panels, EV charging stations, California especially, drought-tolerant landscaping, low-flow shower heads, and water fixtures in the home, and also seismic retrofits as well. So to date, as a result of the investments that have been made in local communities, as a result of residential PACE, you can see the state's worked towards their goal, and all of these communities as well have been able to use PACE. It is a voluntary program for the homeowner who chooses to use it, and it helps all the local jurisdictions that you'll see in the next slide here work towards their environmental goals at no cost to the city and with no taxpayer money. So you have many neighboring cities throughout LA County that have opted into CSCDA's Open PACE program, and they're seeing the benefits, including from the slide that I showed you earlier here. You can see they like the option that it gives to homeowners to be able to have access to these improvements and also to the cities to be able to work towards their environmental goals. So in order to make this available to Hawthorne residents, the city is asked to join the California statewide communities development agency, CSCDA's Open PACE program. Cool thing is you've already been a member of CSCDA since 2001. So all that would be needed in order to make this available to your residents would be you passing an opt-in resolution to the Open PACE program at an upcoming council meeting.
Thank you. To the chair? Yes, ma'am. Gabe, you concluded?
Yes,
Are you good?
I'm open to questions now.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Gabe and team, for coming. I had asked staff to bring you to do a small presentation so that the community at large can look at PACE and, take a look at options. There's always options available. And I have been working hard along with Councilmember Montero, members of the Clean Power Alliance of Southern California, along with our council colleagues and mayor as an aggregate for clean power. And I've been working also with community with regards to solar panels and to assure that they're being charged at the correct cost, and any rebates that need to be coming back to them should be done by the city. I'm very thankful to the city, especially during our COVID time, where work was still being made with regards to families implementing solar and having their homes built out. And here today, doing the same with regards to ADUs and other infrastructure benefits to their properties. And so I want to be able to support these efforts. I'm glad to know that we've been a member of the ASCD since CDA, since 2001, and I will be bringing a resolution to the next council meeting if our city manager could take note of that. Again, it's all about providing the community at large an opportunity, should they choose to bring clean energy to their home. And I know there was, a lot of talk with regards to making vehicles, charging vehicles available to all families, and had a deadline of 2035, which I don't think that's going to happen. I don't like to put mandates on anyone, including, injections, shots, and then we're talking about powered cars through electricity, right? Because a lot of us don't have that abilities to be able to plug in at home. We want to be able to do things slowly, and if it's something that fits for us, and it is something that fits for those individuals, that should be their choice. And so I'm glad to see that your organization is offering such services like this. I had made mention that there's another PACE program that offers utilities assistance, and maybe I'll bring that one at a later time. But I like the fact that there's a variety of ways to bring renewables, and more importantly, clean earth through maybe water-resistant plants and vegetations and things like this that you could do to your lawn services. So with that, I don't know if there's any other council colleagues that want to chime in or have anything to say? That you're good?
To the chair.
Yeah.
I did have one question. What does it mean when it says closed permits? What is that? I'm not familiar with that term.
So when it comes to, you have for your city, they have, if anyone does a project on their home that requires a permit, it would mean that we verify that that permit was indeed done
Gotcha.
properly and passed.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. Great program.
Thank
To
you.
the chair.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Gabe. Quick question. Do you guys depending of any funding coming from the federal government?
No, these are all private dollars that
All
are
private
brought
dollars.
in to the local community and privately financed.
So those basically is people, if they go to the program, it's like a loan, right? You have to pay them.
It's a special property
Right.
assessment that's
Yep.
repaid via the
Okay.
property tax, yes.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, sir, for being here. Thank you, Councilwoman Angie Reyes English.
Thank you, everyone.
You guys.
Thank you.
So we're moving on to the oral communications portion of the meeting. We have an established decorum amongst the city council member colleagues and everybody here on the dais. And the same decorum extends to the residents and the community that comes to speak before oral communications and through the entirety of the whole meeting. Okay? And that includes no displays of posters, no interruptions. So whenever somebody comes up here, you just respect what they have to say. It might be in the same line of thinking as you, or it might be opposite to what your thinking is. And we're applying the same thing up here. We have, remember you guys brought it up? Yeah, so no interruptions. You'll be warned once, and the second time you'll be removed from the council chambers. But this is a good opportunity for people to express themselves today in light of all the things that have been happening around. So let's see, we got this. Okay, Pat Donaldson.
Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem, City Council, and staff. Patricia Donaldson, President CEO of the Hawthorne Chamber of Commerce. We had a good bingo night. I want to thank everyone for coming. June 28th to July 4th, we're going to have our fireworks stand on 120th and Crenshaw, and I hope that you can all come and buy fireworks from us because the money that is raised will be used for backpacks. We're going to buy backpacks and all the goodies that go inside for Kornblum Elementary School. We understand that Kornblum has the most low-income children at the elementary school. So they have 561 students. We were able to give out 249 last year. Hopefully we can give out more this year. August 29th, we'll be giving them out. And September 29th is our big deal of the year, and that's our golf tournament. And I hope that all of you can make it. It's going to be at Rio Hondo. And two more things. I think all of you know Dick Kuhn. His wife passed away last week, and the funeral is this Saturday. So if you need information, you could probably get it from Alex. He'll have the information for you. Now I want to introduce someone that just joined our chamber. Her name is Amy, and she's going to come up here and speak for a couple minutes on what she does. Come on, Amy. I want to be able to hand her membership for the chamber.
Well, thank you. Hello, everyone. Nice to meet. I've got to meet quite a few of you in the room earlier today. My name's Amy Cruz. I am a local business owner from Raycor Inc. I also live in the Hawthorne community. We've lived here a little over 15 years. Our kids go to school in the Hawthorne community. Specifically, we do professional consulting, specifically HR consulting as a major area, and also professional staffing. So when we think about all of the economy that we want to grow and make sure is in a really good place for us as we continue to live and thrive here in Hawthorne, I'm just excited to be able to be part of that as a local business owner. Things like leadership development, being able to do skill development, coming in and helping design training plans. I work with professional development programs and build and design those and come into different locations and start to work with business owners of various sizes with how we can create cultures where employees can thrive. We can also support things like larger programs where maybe the staff is not readily available, but there is a high need to quickly deploy and maybe on a more temporary basis. We can bring in professional staff to help support what I anticipate will hopefully be many different infrastructure and local community programs that we have here. I have personally worked in corporate HR for over 20 years with large organizations and offices all over Hawthorne and otherwise throughout the US and Canada, and I'm just excited to be able to bring the expertise that I have that I've been able to support these larger corporate organizations with to our local community. We've seen lots of growth in our community. We plan to stay here and to have our kids continue to thrive here, and we just want to be able to help support and to continue to build strong teams, strong organizations, and ultimately a stronger economy for us here in Hawthorne. To just share for those who may be interested or just discussing a little bit more if this might sound like something that we might be able to partner on now or in the future, our website is raycorinc.com. That's REICORINC.com. And our phone number is 310-853-2062. I'll be sharing information through Patricia and being involved with the Hawthorne Chamber of Commerce. She's been so kind, as I'm sure many of you know, to get me introduced with everyone. So thank you for your time, everybody.
Thank you, man. Welcome.
Thanks.
All right. Gordon Michael Migo. Monday? Oh, okay.
Hello, everyone. Gordon Michael Migo, native and resident of Hawthorne since October the 8th, 1952. RE parking, Hawthorne Boulevard. At the last council meeting, there was a presentation regarding a study that been conducted by the city in regards to parking meters along Hawthorne Boulevard. And I think to the other cities that I've been to, Inglewood, the beach cities, Los Angeles, wherever, and other parts of the country, but they have their place in some cases for kind of controlling, a lot of, cars being in any given area and all that, and overstaying time and so forth. But I kind of look at, like in the case of Hawthorne Boulevard, or in the case of just the city of Hawthorne, where, really, that's what I really like about Hawthorne. It's an inviting city that we're not an Inglewood, we're not a Culver City, we're not Santa Monica, beach cities, some of these other cities. And so I kind of find it kind of counterproductive, to have parking meters in the city in general. And I would really like to see more so enhanced parking enforcement along the spots where, the police could use scanners and scan the license plates as they go along the different, little side parking or the center parking. And I know you do a lot of that, in the residential area, but maybe we can kind of balance, usage of, the parking control. And I might add, something I've been thinking about is that, whenever Hawthorne Boulevard was redone, that a lot of the, especially from 130th to about 142nd, that a lot of the center parking spaces actually are not even there. There's a lot of open spaces. There's parking on one side or the other. In some cases, maybe both. But it's the center islands are very underutilized, and I think we need to revisit that and try to. I think we can nearly double the amount of parking in the center islands, and as far as maybe additional parking, I mean, there's been talk in different times, about parking structures, public-private partnerships, putting them in different parts of the city as it applies. I know that, and then there's been talk in regards to the Hawthorne Mall or something like that. If we had, all that going, that parking, paid parking. But I've gone to other shopping centers, where they do that, and again, it's kind of counterproductive. It's disinviting, and I think we can try to find a way to deal with the people that like to overstay their time. And I hear about people that work in some of the businesses up and down Hawthorne Boulevard. Or there's people that whatever. So, anyway.
Thank you, sir. Diane Treviso Ceja? Yes.
Just a moment, I'm going to get my notes. Good evening, City Council, Mayor, my community, everyone who's visiting us here this evening.
Can you speak into the mic, please?
Sure, can you hear me now?
Yes.
All right, so once again, good evening, City Council, Mayor, community, everyone who's visiting the City of Hawthorne. Over the past few weeks, our city has witnessed immigration enforcement actions not only by federal agents, including the arrest of a pregnant United States citizen seeking to protect her family, but also arrests by masked individuals in plain clothes with no badge and no identification in unmarked vehicles. These actions do not make us safer. They empower and embolden vigilantes to impersonate law enforcement and act with impunity. They erode trust among our community and negatively impact the psychological well-being of our community members. The least our elected officials and local government can do is acknowledge the terror that our community members are being subjected to by the Trump administration and ICE, and denounce the immigration enforcement actions happening in our community. But there are also more proactive ways to protect and serve our community members. I've lived in Hawthorne since I was a teenager. I went to Hawthorne High. I have never felt for my community or myself or the people who visit us, the terror that I've been seeing, it's just affected me in such a way. I ask that our council and our mayor and we all work together to figure something out, that whether it's enacting some similar resolution like the city of Pasadena did, something to let our community know that this is a safe city, that immigrants are welcome here. I don't know. It's just, I'm sorry. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, ma'am. Sean Cochran?
Good evening, everybody. Mayor, Council, Pro Tem, and the community. My name is Sean Cochran. I work for the company Leaps and Bounds, which provides adaptive swim lessons for the special needs community. And we've been in the Hawthorne Aquatic Center since September of 2023. On May 29th, I was asked to fill out a request for usage to continue over the summer. On June 4th, we were notified that we could no longer operate between the hours of 9 o'clock a.m. and 6 o'clock p.m., giving us the options of either before 9 a.m. or after 6 p.m., which for a little one with special needs and a family trying to navigate their everyday life is impossible. We were successful last summer in using a roped off area of the pool in conjunction with the city's lessons and programming. It was actually an area suggested by the pool staff, and everyone was very excited to be able to maintain their lessons over the summer, and the pool staff were quite happy with the setup, and our families and everybody was able to get their lessons in over this very busy summertime. With regard to lessons and whatnot. It worked out beautifully. We were originally asked to come into the pool to assist with the special needs community of Hawthorne because the city was not equipped to teach lessons to the special needs community. So we were able to provide that service to the city and its constituents that the city was not able to provide. And without us being there, there really is no options for this community. In fact, they've been had to turn away children with special needs and extra needs beyond what they're specialized in working with, which leaves a family, disappointed and not really feeling welcomed. And the kids then also go without pool safety and lessons. So it's a real shame to have to turn away those community members. And we would love to continue our relationship with the city and provide those really, really necessary swim lessons to prevent injury and death to those little ones that really need that skill, especially in a beach community. The ocean is just a hop, skip, and a jump away. So it's a really, really important part of development for all children, and especially in the special needs community. It's the number one cause for injury and death in the special needs community. So we would just love to continue this relationship with Hawthorne and service the special needs community here in the city. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Eileen Duffy Urquizo.
Good evening, Mayor Vargas and everyone on the dais. My name is Eileen. I've lived in Hawthorne for close to 30 years, and I've always liked that we're called the City of Good Neighbors. I come to you tonight very concerned for my neighbors. Yesterday, right very close to where I live, an older gentleman was thrown to the ground, and he was placed on his chest. He was visibly panting for air, and by, I assume, ICE. I'm not sure because they did not identify themselves. And I have never, at 61 years old, seen tactics by any law enforcement agency, and I respect law enforcement agencies, by the way. Never seen anything like that by any of our law enforcement. And I had come here tonight to ask if Hawthorne could do something similar to what Huntington Park did, where the mayor has directed the police department to enforce existing laws, not even create new laws, but enforcing existing laws about unmarked vehicles and requiring agency identification for individuals conducting operations within city limits. We're better than this. I think Hawthorne's better than this. I think the United States of America is better than this. And this is not who we are. And I would love to know what Hawthorne's official position is about this in the form of their choosing. And I hope we can enact something similar to what Huntington Park did. And I thank you for your time.
Lely Fernandez.
Good afternoon, everyone. Before I begin, I want to acknowledge and thank the fire department. They're stretched thin, constantly putting our freeway fires out, many started by unhoused individuals who refused shelter and help. It's not just dangerous, it's draining city resources, and they deserve more than just our thanks. In continuing, good evening, Mayor, Council, members, and city staff. Lely Fernandez. I am from North Hawthorne Community Association, and I have lived here, since I was 7 years old. I've been here multiple times in the past decade, just like many other neighbors, to speak about parking. The ongoing parking problems in the past decade or so, just like many other of my neighbors that have problems. In the last month or so, I think there was a program that was a presentation here regarding the citywide parking study. We're being told to wait. This is not for us. It's for Hawthorne Boulevard. It's for Prairie. It's for Inglewood. This is commercial parking pilot program. That does not have nothing to do with our concerns and what we've been up here for. So it's like what we say, dando el dedo con la masa. Like there's nothing there. It's just you're giving us nothing. Call it what you want. It's another delay in addressing what we've been asking for. A real citywide residential parking program is what we've been asking for. Focusing on Hawthorne Boulevard, let's be honest, many storefronts, they're empty. And most of the active businesses already have parking in the rear. Not one business owner has come up here in the meetings about parking, but we have, the residents, over and over again, from different areas of Hawthorne. This pilot program has nothing to do with residential parking concerns. A 2-hour parking you guys already implemented a few years ago. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, figure it out. But don't let it affect us, the residents, the voters. We vote for each and one of you every time you go out there and you run for office. So maybe give us a little something for us. We're struggling. We circle parking daily, especially in dense neighborhoods, and the abuse of the residential parking is out of control, and the streets are overcrowded. 90% of the vehicles, they don't move except for on the 7th day when it's street sweeping parking. That's when they move. Auto shops, I've been here about the auto shops. They use our streets and their overflow lots. Car hoarders, apartment carports are often used for storage and rented out.
Your time is up.
Okay, so basically just we've shown up, we've spoken, residents are telling us exactly what to do. you know, you're looking at parking data without asking why there are cars.
Ma'am?
You're missing the entire
Your time
story.
is up.
Capture the story and fix our problem, please. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. The name listed on this card says Mr. Fellow Citizen.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm here today because I'm very concerned for my fellow residents of Hawthorne who are being completely violated. Their rights are being, violated every day. I've seen a pregnant lady, nearly 9 months, be abducted near the abandoned mall. She was taken and she was a citizen. Why are we letting federal agents abduct a citizen? I've seen another man just the other day on Ocean Gate and Rosecrans. Same thing. He must have been a hardworking man who came here, pays taxes, and he contributes to our society. Why are we letting that happen? I've seen enough of it. There's people everywhere afraid to leave their homes, afraid to get groceries, afraid to do their everyday things, go to work. They're not showing up to work because they're too afraid to go. What I want is not to say, oh, do something. No, I'm telling you, I want border perimeter. You have the power to tell Hawthorne City Police to set up patrols around the city of Hawthorne perimeter and watch who is coming in. Don't let ICE in, and if they force their way in, follow them. Make sure that the laws that they're supposed to be abiding by are done correctly. When they say, let me see your ID, when they have no warrant, no reason to violate someone's rights and demand ID or proof of citizenship, why are they doing that? These people, for the lack of education, unfortunately, are just afraid and they have guns pointed at them, tasers on these people, pepper spray, however many things, and they say, give me your ID, proof of citizenship. What are they to do? It's not fair. Let's have Hawthorne PD there to keep in check ICE. Let's check them. But before that even happens, before it even escalates to that, let's have a perimeter of Hawthorne PD under your command and under your order to make sure ICE is not let in. And if they force their way in, let's make sure that they're abiding by things correctly. That's all I have to say.
Pastor Gar.
Good evening, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, council members, and city officials. It's with much gratitude and appreciation that I stand before you today in the city to thank you for your support of our recent production, Dear Westmont, that spoke against gang violence. We were blessed to have over 300 people from Hawthorne, surrounding cities, city officials, clergy, and congressional leadership to witness this production. With your support, the support of the city officials, the chamber, and the business community, we were able to invite over 50 at-risk youth and young adults to change the trajectory of their lives. I know that there's a lot going on, but I stand here as clergy in this great city to let you know that I'm honored to be a clergy in this great city. And I would implore that we would consider a citywide prayer revival that would serve as a covering over every aspect of our city and the desired safety. And the citywide prayer revival would speak to the following areas. Number one, that we would come together as a city and we would pray for our church community. And number two, we would pray for our elected officials. For certainly all of our residents here, it's easier for us to speak about how it is to be an elected official, but none of us have ever sat in the seat as elected official. Number three, that we'd pray for our schools and our children, because if there was ever a time that we needed to cover our schools and our children, the time is now. Number four, that we would pray for our police department, for all of the pressures that they're under, not only from the local government, but also from the federal government, to do the best that they can to provide the best covering that they can for our city. Number 5, we would pray for our fire department and the job that they do as first responders to make sure that we're safe. Number 6, that we would pray for our business community in the midst of all that's going on, that they would be able to survive the challenges that they're facing. Number 7, that we would pray for our families and our safe neighborhoods, for certainly things are happening that are outside of our control, but we know that prayer changes things, and we know that with God all things are possible. And then finally, number 8, that we would have a spiritual revival in our city, that we would come together as combined residents and city officials and members, and we would pray that God would cover us, that God would protect us, that God would keep us, and God that would guide us. I'll leave you with this. Romans 8:28 says, and God causes, we hear the scripture says, and all things work together for good, but it's not that they just work together for good. The correct explanation is God causes all things to work together for good for those who love the Lord and are the called according to his purpose. And so I believe that even in this, God is working it together for our good. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you, sir. Daniel, the last name starts with an R. I think it might, if you could pronounce your last name. Okay, Rafik. Yes, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Honorable Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, and Honorable City Council members, good evening. My name is Daniel Rafik, and I just graduated from Lusinger High School. And today I'm here to address and record my protest against the Immigration and Custom Enforcement agencies and their actions. I was walking by the Ocean Gate Avenue, and a lot of my peers have brought this up. A man nearly in his 60s was dragged and detained by ICE agents in a way that was anything but humane. The ICE agents were in plain coats, wore masks, and there was no apparent regard for dignity, rights, and community trust. Honorable Council members and Mayor, I'm not here to speak for or against any policy, but I'm here as a human being. We live in a nation where we believe that no one is above the law, but yet we're witnessing that human rights are being violated as per the international law and the local law. And we're seeing that the 4th, 5th, and the 10th Amendment of the Supreme Law of the land, the United States Constitution, is being violated. Mr. Mayor Pro Tem gave me the card of my rights, but what if the law enforcement agencies don't respect those rights? Regardless of someone's immigration status, they're first and foremost human being, and they should be treated with dignity and respect. Human rights are not conditional. Regardless, earlier we stood for the Pledge of Allegiance, and nowhere in the pledge did we mention citizenship or immigration status, but we all recited that liberty and justice for all. The current situations reminds me of the word of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., who said, quote, "Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere." Mr. Mayor, as you brought up this issue last City Council meeting, I'm beyond proud of my City Council that they're taking the right steps and their possible actions they could do. In this scenario, to the people who are remaining silent, this is an ignited fire, and this will eat us all up one by one if we don't stand firm and speak against it with unity. I believe that the city of Hawthorne would stand firm and not facilitate any further actions carried out by the Immigration and Custom Enforcement agencies. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Gemma Cruz? Gemma? Yeah.
Good evening, Mayor Alex, council members, city officers, and our committee here present. My name is Gemma Cruz. I'm actually working right now at Pizza Show. I've been working there for 15 years. Pizza Show is one of the few establishments in the city of Hawthorne. It's actually one of the staples in the city of Hawthorne. It was established in 1958. And who doesn't know Pizza Show? Who doesn't know Gary Evans? After COVID-19, Pizza Show and many other businesses have been impacted, and we've been trying to stay in business. This month also we were impacted by the immigration situation that we're going through. So we want our staff to continue to feel safe at work. We're having a lot of employees calling in sick, not coming to work because they're afraid. So our main job is to keep them safe. As we all know, Gary Dinazzo Pizza Show, he just retired, and he accepted for me to be more involved in the running of the business. I'm telling you right now, tomorrow we're going to celebrate our 67th anniversary in the city of Hawthorne. We want to thank our council members, Faye Johnson, the city of Hawthorne, of course. I'm sorry, I'm a little nervous. We had an amazing meet and greet June 10 here in City Hall, and we posted an amazing video of the City Hawthorne News. We had over 10,000 views, and then we posted another video 4 days ago inviting the public for us to celebrate with us, and we already have 10,000 views. So our crew right now is actually working really hard right now, trying to get enough dough and toppings and everything ready for tomorrow. We want to thank you for your time. We want to thank the community for their support to Pizza Show. We're working every day to stay in business in the city, and we want to invite all of you guys and also give you a heads up that we might be really busy. And we also, our staff, like I said, they're praying that we don't get any bad situation with immigration, ICE, or anything like that, because our mission here is to have a good celebration, making sure we all know that Pizza Show has been here and it's going to stay here as much as we can. Thank you.
Through the chair, quick question. It's true that the piece is going to be $6.70?
Sorry, yes, they're waiting for me. Yes, our special is going to be pizzas. Since it's 67 years, we're going to do $6.70. Each topping is going to be 67 cents. Our 6-inch sandwiches is going to be $6.70 as well. We've passed out some flyers. Like I said, we already posted on social media, and it already has over 10,000 views. So, Mr. Gary, we might get some help from you tomorrow because we might be really, really busy outside the restaurant.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you again.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
To the chair. And just real quick, I was asked what time it's tomorrow, from 12 to 8.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay. I don't have any further cards. Is that it? People coming up? Sir, you can form a line. She's going to be, okay.
Hi.
All right, that's fine. Hi, ma'am.
My name is Nicole Rivas. I have been in Hawthorne my entire life for 28 years. I, like many of my fellow citizens here, I'm afraid for my family, I'm afraid for my friends, I'm afraid for my community, and I'm only here to ask Hawthorne to take a stand in any way, whether it's a vocal stand, posting something. The silence is so deafening from our city. We know that you obviously don't have the power to change everything all at once, but we ask that you show your community that supports you that you support us back. That's it. Thank you.
Sir.
Before I go, I do want to say I do have a list I would like to pass to each member. Who do I pass it to?
You could give it to the treasurer first, and then you could start speaking. All right. Go ahead. Proceed.
Hey everyone, my name is Hansel. Some of you may know myself, as well as a few of my colleagues and residents here from Hawthorne. We're here 2 weeks ago. Worried, we shared how worried we were, how unsafe and fearful some of us felt. Some of us came directly from a protest on Hawthorne Boulevard in 120th, which literally 2 days before a protest, U.S. citizen by the name of Carrie Lopez, who at the time was 8 months pregnant, was harassed and detained by ICE. This is not news to you guys. You guys were aware of this 2 weeks ago. We had residents like Mr. Rob Williams, who's here today. He reminded us that these raids are not only a violation of human rights, but also a violation of the Fourth Amendment, which is obviously unlawful and unconstitutional. We had Planning Commissioner Ruby Cohen, who even canceled a flight to come here and speak about how she felt and how fearful she was for her community. And that was even before we met with the planning committee, which we did last Tuesday. They seemed a bit supportive, and we had demands for them. Anyways, 2 weeks ago, we not only demanded a public statement, but also requested immediate action taken by you, our city officials. Yet we only saw an Instagram story with links to quote-unquote resources and a supposed statement that said, and I quote, "We stand with you during these unsettling times." However, we have yet to see any actual commitment to our safety concerns, just words. Because in the following 2 weeks, there have been multiple sightings of ICE, and just yesterday they had a man, as people have pointed out today, they had a man in the Ocean Gate Plaza, flat on his stomach, and we believe he was taken into custody, and we still are not sure if those were actually ICE agents or not. Imagine if that were you. That could have been you, many of us here, myself, I loved one of yours. Mayor, you yourself, 2 weeks ago, stated that you couldn't even eat your bowl of menudo after the detainment of Carrie Lopez on 128th and Hawthorne Boulevard. And to be honest, we don't believe you, because if that were the case, action would have already been taken. We would already have a complete transparency on whether Hawthorne is implementing federal officials to show warrants before conducting raids in our city, number one. Number two, we also wouldn't silence some residents on social media. It's been brought to my attention and my colleagues that many people have had their comments deleted of the Hawthorne Instagram page. These comments did not have any foul language. They were just questions and concerns. That's not the type of leadership that we want. That's not the type of leadership anyone voted for. We don't want people that are going to just dismiss these complaints. We want people who are actually going to work to protect the residents of the city. We've also brought up that cities like Gardena and Culver City have both come out with public letters, not just Instagram story posts or like a little portion of the website. Proper letters and statements on their website stating that they won't allow ICE agents, their police departments won't collaborate with ICE or assist with any data or in any way. We demand more than just an Instagram story with links. And lastly, I want to propose a forum. We are aware that you guys cannot respond right away to any comment. However, we want to invite you guys to an open forum where you guys can sit with us. We're not going to debate. We're not going to argue. Simply going to talk. And you yourselves can have the power then to communicate to the residents and actually show them that show them where you stand in this case, because it's not clear. You guys said one thing 2 weeks ago. You guys were in support of this, but it's been 2 weeks, and we had another tragedy yesterday. So, anyways, I hope that you guys look at the demands that we gave you guys as a step-by-step steps, and hopefully you guys accept our invitation to an open forum. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Hi, everyone. My name is Kiara Ventura. At this point, me, my friends, and I have shown up, we've spoken out, and we have shared our pain and concerns with you guys. We have provided you with a list full of demands and solutions that you guys can take in steps in order to prevent this from happening. We're no longer just asking for your words of support. What we need from you now is real enforceable action. As Hansel has stated, we don't believe you guys, and that's why we're here today. This is currently affecting people's lives, and we're had enough. The following demands we have listed from you stem from our care for the community, our anger and frustration, as well as research conducting by ourselves, because it's a shame that we have to do all of this in order for you guys to do your duties and jobs. So what we're here to demand is not suggested, we're just demanding this. First, we demand Hawthorne to pass a sanctuary city ordinance. In other words, we require a formal city resolution stating that Hawthorne won't cooperate with ICE. We need a clear policy and not just words. Second, we demand that the city publicly commit to SB 54, which is the California Values Act, which limits local law enforcement from cooperating with ICE. There's currently no proof shown from Hawthorne that SB 54 has been enforced or put in place, or about Hawthorne Police Department's role during these raids. Third, we demand full transparency. We demand full transparency. If HPD has contact with ICE in any way, shape, or form, the public has a right to know. We want weekly reports that include when ICE has been contacted, how many people were detained, and why. And with the multiple reports of people impersonating ICE agents, we want to know what the city is doing to protect these residents from this type of intimidation. These fake agents are out here terrorizing families, and the city has stayed silent. Are there protocols to take in place for this? Are city workers and police being trained on how to verify federal agents? and respond to impersonations. What we want and expect is a clear plan to prevent this from happening and continuing. Fourth, we demand Hawthorne to protect sensitive public locations. For this, we demand Hawthorne to label public schools, hospitals, churches, and courthouses as ICE-free zones. Fifth, we demand that the city provide active resources and not just empty links on an Instagram story. We demand that Hawthorne mail know your right cards to every address in Hawthorne. Many people are unaware that the city clerk office has these, but they're also scared to leave their home. So doing this will show that Hawthorne is taking action and is there to protect them. Additionally, we demand city funding for legal support for undocumented residents. Finally, we demand that ICE should not be using city resources, buildings, or data systems to target residents. License plate readers and city databases are being used to target immigrants without a signed judicial warrant, and we want to prevent this from happening here in Hawthorne. These demands aren't out of your scope. We're not begging for change, we're demanding it. We want to remind you that the open forum is an opportunity to further respond and to fully stand with your residents. It's your chance to face the people you represent, and it's to respond directly and back up with your words with action. If not, your silence will say everything we need to know.
Hello, Mayor. My name is Richard Harrison. To the mayor and city councilmen. First of all, I want to give a shout out to the young people. I mean, I think the fact that you guys were coming up and stand up, I really think that's awesome. But here's something that I wanted. My son asked me about this. My son's married to a Latino woman, so I got Latino and black grandkids. And he telling me, Dad, I'm concerned about this. And I said, well, this is why I've always emphasized you about to vote. It's the power of the vote. If we can come together in 26 and get the Democrats the House, they can impeach this dude. And this is something very, very important, that when people tell you who they are, we got to believe them. Donald Trump said he was going to do this stuff. And what did we do? He got a higher percentage of Latino vote than he did in 20. So we got to make sure the young people, your voting turnout between the age of 18 and 35 is 30%. In the midterms, black turnout is lower than 50%, and Latino vote is lower than that. So we can't put all the pressure on on the city councilmen and police if we're not voting. Vote, even in this state and across the nation, vote. Get people to vote. And I like you guys' energy, but you can protest, you can cry. That orange man doesn't care. What's going to make us change is getting the House the power so we can do something with this dude. So anyway, I'll leave that alone. Young people, I support you. I got your back. I want to say thank you. I got some thank yous. I want to say thank you, Mayor, because I've been complaining about the trash, those streets I live on. I don't even live on the streets, but I'm really concerned about Hawthorne. We know we can't park. We know we can, but we don't know where we can't dump. We need you guys to put signs and enforcements. I've also complained about the inundating of the circle jerks, the extracurricular massage parlors, right? And I want to thank English for saying you're going to do a circle jerk moratorium. And the chief, I got to give the chief a shout out. I complained about the hand job, or what else things called, and the chief called me. Oh, I mean, he said he asked my number. I called the chief, and the chief called me back. I was surprised. Thank you, chief. I appreciate you. Now, I didn't get everything I wanted from the chief because I had a special name for his operation. He said, no, I'm not going to say what the name is. It was Operation Hand Job. But anyway. But I want to thank you, chief. Thank you for taking my call. I appreciate it. And I want to thank you guys for doing the work that you guys are doing. I got expectations of you, but I know the will of the people is what makes people change and policy change. It's us. We have to push, but we also push, but we expect you to do what we're pushing for. Be our face. Represent us. Help us clean this city up. Let's deal with the parking stuff. Protect these people from ICE as much as you can. And Vargas, I want to talk to you too about. I'll get on your calendar, but I want to talk about us having our own charter. Right? We're common law. So if we don't have our own charter, then are we compliance officers, or are you guys actually politicians? Also, I would like to go from go off at large and go to district. I want one throat to choke. For Easter Prairie, I want some of you guys to stand and say, I'm going to dedicate to getting that place. Because I'm tired of seeing you guys messages talk about clean this up and clean that up. All right, thank you. Appreciate it.
Hey, so Fourth Amendment of the United States Constitution is supposed to protect people from unreasonable searches and seizures. Fifth Amendment is supposed to protect us from self-incrimination. 14th Amendment is supposed to doubly affirm that all of the laws in the United States Constitution apply to all persons in the United States borders. Persons. And the Supreme Court has affirmed that several times. So I think my big question, I know you guys can't answer questions, but when I'm watching that video of the man who was put on the ground in Ocean Gate, I shop there all the time. We're supposed to be able to confirm that these people are actual agents of ICE. I've seen videos from other communities where people are saying, I'm a bounty hunter. I'm not an official ICE agent, I'm a bounty hunter. What are you gonna do to pay me so that you should pay me more money than they're paying me to go pick up these people without any signed warrant? Without a signed warrant. They can pick up people without a signed warrant? What does it mean that we just pledged allegiance to the United States? What does all of this mean? Thank you.
I'm little. Let me bring this down. Excuse me 1 second. Hi, my name is Sarai. Some of this might sound familiar because I sent an email that didn't get a reply. Over the past few weeks, ICE agents have been seen increasingly throughout Hawthorne, including last week at graduation ceremonies, events that should be celebrations of achievement and pride. Instead, families, many of them longtime residents and taxpayers of this city, were forced to experience those moments under a cloud of fear. Given the gravity of this situation, I am not so shocked, but still very disappointed that neither the mayor's office nor the city council has made a real public statement for everyone to see and go back to, not just an Instagram story. Hawthorne is over 56% Latino. This is not a peripheral issue. This is a direct threat to the well-being and dignity of the majority of your constituents. We understand that you may not control federal agencies. No one is asking you for that. But what you can control is your message, your moral leadership, and your public stance. Your silence speaks volumes, and right now it says you are unwilling to stand with the very people who elected you. Even without jurisdiction over federal agents, the decision to pretty much say nothing is a decision to side with fear over protection and silence over solidarity. In addition to what my friends have stated tonight that I know have been stated to you before, I want to add that I demand that the city begin immediately developing a comprehensive plan to support and protect local businesses in the face of growing federal immigration presence. This should include distributing clear Know Your Rights materials in both English and Spanish, not just a few thrown at residents before a city council meeting. Providing supportive signage that business owners can display, marking locations as private businesses where ICE agents cannot enter. Offering education so businesses are fully informed about their rights and how to navigate enforcement-related intimidation. Hawthorne's economic health depends on the security and success of its local, often immigrant-owned businesses. You all know this. Their protection must be a priority. To sum up, we demand a real public statement from the city of Hawthorne, including Hawthorne Police Department, that they do not and will not cooperate with ICE, and a proactive plan to ensure that Hawthorne's local businesses and workers are informed, supported, and safe. I never thought I'd ask for heavier police presence protecting public areas, but I do. Hawthorne is not a huge city, but we have a huge police force. It's time to use them to protect us. Latinos and immigrants in general bring so much to this city. We deserve leadership that is courageous, vocal, and committed to the values of dignity and justice for all, not just using a Hispanic last name when it's election time. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Dulce. I'm the one that recorded the video yesterday at Ocean Gate. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys have seen it. Unfortunately, I had to witness that. I asked for ID. I asked for badge numbers. It wasn't showing to me. What the guy, the supposedly officer, did was put his hand on my phone, and I kept recording him. And then eventually said he was gonna pepper spray the other people that eventually came after hearing the chaos. This is not safe for us as Hispanic people that live here. I couldn't sleep last night. I've been stressed over this, and I shouldn't be seeing this in the streets. I asked somebody to call 911, which they did, and nobody showed up. The situation was over. I was going home, and this was probably 10 minutes after it was over, and I see Hawthorne PD going, no sirens, no anything. And this poor man got taken away, and I couldn't do anything about it. They're showing up with Nevada plates. No immigration signs on the car, no anything. So what does this mean? This is not legit people. This is not ICE. This is bounty hunters. And the fact that, like I said, I can't do anything, that the community can't do anything, but I feel like you guys have the power. Also, Hawthorne PD has the power to show up and do something about it. Ask for a document or something, since they cannot show it to a citizen like me. And I feel like something needs to be done, and it has to be done immediately because people are scared. I didn't want to go out today, but I went out because I want to bring this up. I want to support the people. I want people to be out. I don't want to see the streets empty like you see them now. So I feel like something needs to be done. Thank you.
Good evening, Council. My name is Jalen Carter. I'm a lifelong resident in Hawthorne. Yeah, I had to speech. Hawthorne is home. I'm a person who takes things to heart, and the phrase city of good neighbors means a lot to me. So what does it mean to be a good neighbor? Well, if you ask me, I would tell you that it would be what you see behind me and out in the streets, a group of individuals from many different backgrounds coming together to give a voice to their neighbor who can't. Hawthorne, being this microcosm of many different walks of life, has given me a profound perspective on how to be a good neighbor. And that starts by listening. You learn who someone is and what they carry with them, whether that's their culture, language, or even trauma, by listening. You'll discover that we all carry a lot of baggage, but it won't weigh us down because we share the weight. And that's what we are here to do today, share that weight. This city has a rich history, but also a dark one. It was not long ago that my great-grandmother would come to Hawthorne to shop for fine china that was not available in South Central. And after suffering from the discrimination that was common at that time, she still had to make sure to get home before nightfall because Hawthorne was a sundown town. An unspoken agreement that if an undesirable individual stays too long, they will be removed with violence and be made an example of. That is the presence that ICE is bringing to Hawthorne, a culture of fear and persecution. And who is being persecuted? Hardworking individuals who want nothing more in life than to provide for their families and set them up for success. Immigrants provide invaluable services that most people don't even think about and enrich the city by sharing their stories and culture. Growing up, I had friends from Guatemala, Vietnam, Mexico, and El Salvador. They made me who I am today, someone who can see the humanity in the person who looks different than me, recognize their pain as my own, and feel compelled to do something when they can't. I ask that you recognize the hurt happening within this community and address it accordingly. For me, my family's history starts in the United States. I know no other home. This place I call home is messy and can be very uncomfortable, but there is beauty in that struggle, and my home is open to anyone willing to be a part of it. Thank you.
Hello, Council. My name is Crystal. My pronouns are she, her, ella, and I've been a Hawthorne resident for 8 years, and in that time, the City of Good Neighbors has truly lived up to its name. But today, I'm here because I'm deeply concerned that our neighbors are no longer safe. The diverse communities that call this city home, immigrants, working families, people of color, have become targets of unmarked agents who call themselves ICE. Just yesterday, a community member was taken at the Ocean Gate Commerce Center. A video shows them crying out for help pinned down by two men who did not identify themselves, did not present a warrant, and used excessive force. It was disturbing to watch and terrifying to know this happened right here in Hawthorne. As a woman of color, I am afraid to leave my home. The presence of ICE in the places I live, work, and gather has created deep fear in our community, and I know I'm not alone in feeling this way. I want to acknowledge and thank the city for releasing a statement and resources, but I'm here to say that it's not enough. We need transparency. We need leadership. We need to know what steps you as mayor and council are taking to ensure our safety. So far, we have not heard whether Hawthorne PD is collaborating with ICE. The city of Torrance recently confirmed that their departments does not work with ICE. That kind of clarity matters. I'm urging the city of Hawthorne to publicly condemn ICE and the harm that they are causing, just like Pasadena and Glendale have done. I'm asking for bold public leadership that reflects the values we claim to hold. This is a moment to not only be a city of good neighbors, but a city of good leaders too. Thank you.
Hello, good evening, council and community members. This morning I sat down with my dad and let him know that I was going to this. He really wanted to come, but he's been too afraid to leave the house ever since yesterday when a man was pinned down by two unidentified agents. My dad has been a resident here in Hawthorne since 2013, and my dad works as a car wash technician serving local businesses here in Hawthorne and around the Southway. He wrote this letter for me to read out to you guys. All the car washes that I service have employees that are undocumented, to green card holders or residents. The owners or the managers are aware of it, and these employees just jump around from car wash to car wash just to work and make a better life for themselves and their families. Most of them are fathers just like me. Since the raids and the kidnapping started, I've seen businesses lose half their employees, with some employees staying home out of fear of deportation. Many of these locations are open spaces, however, that shouldn't justify entering these local businesses without a warrant. I should be forced to produce a signed warrant before entering any kind of establishment. I also personally work at a bar, and know your rights resources are still nuanced to most employees, with employers even knowing less. City of Hawthorne should provide know your rights cards to residents and should work with local organizations to provide know your rights workshops for its residents and its local business owners. Thank you so much.
Good evening. Rob Williams, 30-year resident of Hawthorne, and a pissed off Gen Xer. Excuse me. I want to read the Fourth Amendment. The right of the people, not has nothing to do with citizen, the right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrants shall issue but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. This, what's going on now, is nothing about warrants, nothing about, it's go out and just grab anyone that they see. It's disgusting. You all took an oath when you took your seats on a Bible to uphold the Constitution. This includes the Fourth Amendment. And you all need to stand up and stand with the community because you did take that oath, each one of you. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. My name is Josue. I didn't write anything down. I wasn't going to speak, but I felt like this is warranted. It's actually my first council city meeting thing, too. But you know what? I felt like this was kind of like a call for action, not just for myself, but for the community. You know, I'm a simple dude. You know, I like cars, I like food. Some of that food includes like raspados, elotes, you know. I'm pretty good friends with, you know, one of my eloteros. And before, right, we used to text like, hey, food, come through. Like, what's up with the raspados, you know, like, shh. But now those texts are, hey, man, there's ice over here by Prairie. Hey, bro, there's ice over here by, you know, by Rosecrans. Like, watch out. Like, it shouldn't have to be that way, you know what I mean? And what's funny, right, is like now in the morning, it's becoming second nature to grab my documents, you know? And it's funny, right? Because like I grab them, and it shouldn't have to be that way. It shouldn't be second nature to grab your documents proving that you belong. You know what I mean? So you've heard it once, you've heard it twice, you've heard it 10 times already. You guys got to do something. Stand up to ICE. Keep them out of Hawthorne. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. My name is Ryan Richard, President, Holly Park Neighborhood Association and Planning Commissioner. And as I did last week, I'm not going to come here and reiterate everything that everybody said. We're going to start off by saying thank you to all the folks that did come out here under great, you know, this is not always a safe time for everyone to come out, so I want to say I appreciate everyone for coming out here. But I did wait specifically to the end to say one thing and one thing specifically. Everyone in here has told you what it is that they need to do, what they need done from you. At the end of every one of these council meetings, each time we go through our elected officials' reports and we give a number of directives, before anyone gives any new directive to staff, you need to address the things that these people have said. We don't need any new programs, anything else until you can take the time to address the concerns of these citizens. They've come in here for 2 weeks. I've heard far too often that some of the folks who come here and protest don't come and they're not here often. Some of these people have been here talking to this council for 5 years. They've come here over and over and over again asking for help and support from the folks who sit here in this room. And today is the time for you to move forward and do something. Not saying that you have to go and 100% do what they said do, but you have to do something to address the things that these citizens are experiencing. And until that, the quibbles about us putting together an event or who does what or what we're doing, none of that matters until you address what these people are saying. So right here today, you've been heard, been told very pointedly, do something about this, make a directive, figure out how we do something. That's it. That's all. Thank you.
If there's no objections, oral communications is closed, so ordered. Madam Clerk?
Mr. Mayor, I have 8 items on the consent calendar. There are items 3 through 10 for your consideration and approval. Item 3, City Treasurer request approval of the warrants. Item 4, approval of the City Council meeting minutes for the regular meetings of March 11, 2025, March 25, 2025, April 8, 2025, April 22, 2025, and the special meeting of April 14, 2025. Item 5, approval of the waiver of full readings of resolutions and ordinances on Tuesday, June 24th, 2025's agenda. Item 6, resolution number 8536, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Hawthorne, California, adopting an appropriation spending limit for fiscal year 2025 through 2026 in compliance with Article XIIIB of the state constitution. Item 7, resolution number 8537, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Hawthorne, California, approving and adopting the annual budget for fiscal year 2025 through 2026. Item 8, resolution number 8540, authorizing the city manager to execute an exclusive negotiating agreement, ENA, and initiate funding commitment letter with Bodie Communities for an affordable housing development on the parcel immediately south of 14115 Cordy Avenue. Item 9, resolution number 8541, resolution of the City Council of the City of Hawthorne, California, approving to join Public Risk Innovation Solutions and Management PRISM Excess Liability Program. Item 10, Resolution Number 8542, Resolution of the City Council of the City of Hawthorne, California, approving to join Public Risk Innovation Solutions and Management Prism Property Program for adoption.
To the chair.
Yes.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to pull item 8 for discussion, please. I'm good with everything else. I'll make a motion for all those others.
Okay. So, motion has been made for 3 and 4. I second. Please vote.
The votes are in. The voting reflects Mayor and Council approving all items except 8.
Okay. Let's see. We have a bid opening? Oh, no, the discussion. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. So for item number 8, I know I had a brief discussion with the city manager and a brief discussion prior to council meeting from the planning department. I know and I understand that this is basically a commitment for a partnership. However, I'd like to have a presentation. I want to be able to know who I'm partnering with, and I'd like to know, have the opportunities to make additional questions and, suggestions, recommendations, concerns, what have you. So I'm asking to table the item until I could get the presentation. There's not an urgency here. It's not about urgency. There's nothing that's going to hold anything up. I want to do due diligence. I know we've had in the past some issues with regards to making rush judgments for commitments to other organizations, and those failed. So ultimately, item number 8, I'm asking for it to be tabled, to be brought back, so that we could hear from the potential partner.
We do have a representative of BODE present in council chambers to address any questions that you may have.
Have them come up here, please.
To the chair.
Yes.
I'm asking for full council to be present, and we have a council member, Manning, that's currently not here. So that's why I'm asking for it to be tabled for a later time, so that she could be present.
That would require a vote.
Okay, so look, I think we've made a lot of progress. We tasked the staff to study this and to follow our directions. I think if we would have wanted a presentation and all these other things that we're asking now, we should have asked it at the appropriate time. So I think a lot of the work's already been done.
It
So
was
I think-
never brought to our attention.
I
It was
think-
never brought to our attention. It was put on the agenda.
Mr. City Manager, did you have staff work on this?
Yes, we did.
Okay. So I think it's best that we just move on this. So
Representatives, can you please come to the podium, please, if you're here?
We have both consultants, Harrison Associates, and representative of BODE.
Good evening.
Good evening, and respectfully, I'm not familiar with your organization. I've been on council for quite some time. There's history with regards to the property in question. I'm not trying to bring old issues. However, it's just making due diligence to assure that I have an ample opportunity to vet, right? So having said that, I was quite curious as to, because there's not a packet that we could reference, right, that shows, like, say, for instance, other communities, other cities that you've worked with, what other properties you have, if maybe, if I take it upon myself to go take a look. I want to be able to just have a dialogue, if you will. And so these are some of the things that I had questions about. What is it ultimately going to look like? Who is it going to be offered to? Who's going to be able to benefit? How is the funding allocated and or not? If there isn't funding coming from the city, I'm curious to know what your securities are in assuring that you have the funding availability to fulfill the project to completion. So there's just a number, if you could imagine, without giving council an opportunity to ask in advance. It's upon me to make that request today. So those are my concerns. I'm familiar with our consultant that we've partnered with in years. And I'm thankful for that because, ultimately at the end of the day, we don't know everything and have everything in-house to be able to make those types of assessments. So just to answer some of my questions, if you could, real quickly, if you could remember some of the things I've just made mention. What other communities are you in? Communities such as, municipalities?
Sure.
And what other developments have you done? And if there's any most recent that you've done?
Sure. I think you're asking a lot of good questions. My name is Laura Regas. I'm the Senior Vice President of Development for Abode Communities. Abode is a nonprofit, mission-oriented, affordable housing developer, owner-operator. We've been around for 57 years. We're headquartered in the city of Los Angeles. We work throughout the city and the county of Los Angeles, as well as other parts of the state, including other counties in both Southern and Northern California. The easiest way to answer your question is just to say, if you visit our website, you'll be able to see quite enough. You can see basically every property that we own. We currently own, I believe, 47 properties in the county of Los Angeles. This is our first opportunity to work with the city of Hawthorne, obviously, but work with other cities like Pasadena, Santa Monica, Long Beach, the city of LA, the unincorporated part of LA County, as well as other jurisdictions. So I wasn't aware that staff wasn't going to be making a presentation, so I apologize that you haven't been able to get all your questions answered. I'm happy to try and do some of that here, although I don't want to overstep what staff and the consultants have prepared or were planning to say tonight. But what we're entering into is an opportunity to work with you and your staff on the proposed concept. I can tell you really quickly what we have initially proposed is an affordable housing development for families, all whom are low income. We still need to work on the details of the design, but right now it's conceptually around 92 units. We would have 1, 2, and 3 bedroom units. So it is absolutely targeted for families. We'll also have space in the development that is non-resident, it's for residents, like a community room. We have on-site management, that sort of thing. We also run an after-school program and a general resident services program. So all of those services would be offered to the residents, our future residents in that building. The proposed financing stack is somewhat typical for affordable housing development. So it includes, in addition to the offered funding from the city, it includes a permanent mortgage, low-income housing tax credits, and we expect to be able to tap into funding that's coming from LA County as well in order to round out that capital stack. That's the initial proposal right now based on our experience and what we know is available in the region and at the state level. Let me pause there and see if there's any other immediate questions I can answer without having the luxury of the PowerPoint presentation to show you.
Yeah. I'm just curious, is the city bond city manager attorney, are we funding? Are we providing city manager?
It's not the city, it's the successor agency of the city is providing the land for the development that's close to an acre on Cordero Avenue. Most of the funding, and we have Dima Galkin from Harrison Associate to specifically answer the funding questions, most of it will come through the grants through the state housing agencies and things of that nature that Dima can explain a little bit further.
Thank you, Robert. My name is Dima Galkin. I'm a director in the community.
Through the chair, hold 1 second, please.
Sure.
I think it is important, maybe Vaughn, explain how you end up with the name of Adobo here, the process, how you went to bidding, all those things. I think you need to give to the council all the activities that went on for these past 2 years. Okay. About it was a bid, you received 9 bids or 15 or something. Give them the history before you came to this conclusion, please. I think it's important.
Mayor Pro Tem,
I know the history.
We just need to. I think I would like that information too, but I think if we could first address the councilwoman's initial questions, and then we could seg into that part.
Yeah, because let me just real quick and respectfully again, I know this is a commitment, right? That's the bonus word. It's enter into commitment. And so that's where I'm at. I just want to know who the commitment is with, right? I know the process with regards to the RFP and the selections and all of this. I just had questions with regards to who they are that we selected, right? Go ahead.
All right, thank you. Just to introduce myself, my name is Dima Galkin. I'm a director in the Community Development and Housing group at Harrison Associates, consultant for the city. And we worked closely with the city on the process of issuing the request for proposals and identifying the developer to be recommended. With regard to the question about funding, the current item on the agenda does include a $6 million commitment for the project. These funds are from the city's housing successor agency funds, which are restricted for use on affordable housing. And actually, with all due respect, one clarification is that the commitment of these funds at this time does allow the city to remain in compliance with the state requirement to spend these funds, or at least to commit these funds in a timely manner. Are there any additional questions about the funding that I can answer?
So that's part of the accessor agency, and I think we've had this monies for a long period of time.
That's correct.
For a long time. I just want to make sure we haven't been burdened by the other entity that was given the contract and then ultimately failed to produce, and then we had to eat some of that cost, right? So I'm just wanting to understand the ability to be able to fully fund and not have, like, say, for instance, a hiccup somewhere along the way, right?
Right.
And and then ultimately, I want to know, like, the application process. You know, how the selections made for the families that are applying for housing. Is there going to be a preference? I know it's for low income, and it needs to be based off of your low income, numbers, and then ultimately are given the rent amount, right? Okay.
So I can address some of those questions, and I'll turn it back over to Laura to answer some of them as well. With regard to, I totally hear you and understand you with your concern on the prior experience. That was, I would say, the reason we went through this RFP process. We, back in, I think it was October, provided the council with an RFP, got your approval that established the criteria and what we focused on when evaluating the development proposals. We did receive 16 proposals. We led by a committee formed by city staff. We interviewed 4 of the teams that we evaluated as the top proposals, and eventually selected or recommended Abode as the partner for the city. Again, as was stated, this is at this step, this would just be entering into the exclusive negotiating agreement. So no funding is being spent at this time. And this would just sort of demonstrate between the city and the developer a commitment to partner together to bring this development to fruition. And so we are taking steps, working closely with city staff to provide precautions and safeguards so that when funds are spent, they're spent they're spent wisely, and that there are ways for the city to recover funding if something should happen with the project. And I'll ask Laura to answer some of the other questions about tenant selection, if you'd like.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. Real quick, if you can, and then I'll be satisfied. How the other question I have is, when will we be able to see all the renderings and have an opportunity for a real presentation?
I'm going to let staff answer that question. But your question about applications and eligibility. So typically what we do is we offer the leasing process through a lottery. So we don't want to do a first come, first serve, because that creates trouble and access issues, right? So a lottery is the most fair way to go through an application process. When we're getting ready to start that lease up process, we will have informational meetings with the community. We try to do a mix of maybe in person and online to increase attendance and access. But essentially, it is eligibility is based on income, household size. So, for example, a single person wouldn't be eligible to live in a 3-bedroom unit, right? So we would right size the assignment of the eligible households to the unit that fits. The affordable housing, and this is true of this proposal as well, generally offers a range of units at different sizes and different incomes. So we like to serve a variety of households. So that means that there will be units at probably at the extremely low income level, the very low income level, and the low income level. So there's a range of opportunities for people who live in the community and are applying. So what happens is people submit their initial intake application, there is the lottery assigned, and then as we get into working through that list that is designated by the lottery process, then our property management staff will ask for all the extra backup information, such as income verification, previous landlord history, that sort of thing. The typical thing that you would include for your average application for rent, except that in an affordable housing, income eligibility is such a crucial part of that. So let me pause there and see if that helps.
No, I appreciate that. And I look forward to, again, having a real presentation and seeing the renderings. And I thank my council colleagues for allowing me an opportunity. I wasn't here at the last council meeting. So I appreciate, being able to just catch up with all these items and discussions that have been happening, and I'm not aware. So
yeah, absolutely. And I'm happy to meet with you too, or answer any questions through staff, whatever is most effective.
Absolutely.
And I'll defer to staff and the consultants in terms of formal presentations.
I'll enjoy that. Thank you. Thank you so much. I think we're good. Thank you for your time, and I appreciate response from my concerns. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Motion?
I make a motion.
Second. Please vote. Please vote.
The votes are in. The voting reflects mayor and council approving item 8.
Thanks to staff for the work on this. And I know there's a report here. It's very in depth. So I'm glad to hear also everything kind of just summarized today right now. So I really appreciate that also. Next.
Item 11.
Yes.
Now is the time and place to declare publicly received sealed bids for resurfacing of the runway 7-25 and resurfacing of taxiways and trench drain extension for Hawthorne Municipal Airport project number 25-06. There were 3 bids received. All were accompanied by a bidder's bond. The prices are as follows. CR Contracting LLC, $3,218,555 of Bend, Oregon. American Road Maintenance, $2,487,492.50 of Tucson, Arizona. Sequel Contractors Incorporated, $3,236,425 of Santa Fe Springs, California.
That's good. I make a motion to accept these.
Second.
Please vote.
The votes are in. The voting reflects mayor and council approving item 11.
Okay, let's go slow here. Public hearing? 12.
Item 12. Now is the time and place for a public hearing confirming the assessment diagram and assessment and collection of assessments for. Item 12. Now is the time and place for a public hearing confirming the assessment diagram and assessment amounts as originally proposed and authorizing the levy and collection of assessments for improvement of the street lighting system, Landscaping and Street Lighting Act of 1972 for the fiscal year 2025 through 2026. Recommended motion. Staff recommends that the City Council open and close public hearing and approve resolution number 8538. No written communications were received.
Is there anybody wishing to speak on this? No, so just continue with the actual resolution, please.
Resolution number 8538, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Hawthorne, California, confirming the assessment diagram and assessment amounts as originally proposed and authorizing the levy and collection of assessments for improvement of the street lighting system, Landscaping and Street Lighting Act of 1972 for the fiscal year 2025 through 2026.
I make a motion. Please vote.
The votes are in. The voting reflects mayor and council approving this item.
City manager's consent calendar.
Item 13, progress payment number 4 in the amount of $497,923.71 due to Martinez Landscaping Company Incorporated of Silmar, California for general maintenance project number 22-05. Item 14, HUD correction to the 2021 home ARP allocation. Item 15, fiscal year 2024, 2025, and 2025, 2026 blanket purchase orders. Item 16, a new professional services agreement for continued help related to an affordable housing project and PLHA grant administration. Item 17, progress payment number 2 in the amount of $1,198,964.22 is due to Martinez Landscaping Company Incorporated of Silmar, California for the City of Hawthorne New City Yard, project number 24-02. Item 18, agreement with Progressive Solutions Incorporated for business license software. Item 19, grant agreement between Baldwin Hills Conservancy for the Holly Park bathroom remodel project. Item 19, agreement with Telehealth Van LLC to provide virtual telehealth resources and family support for low-income and unhoused residents. Item 21, professional services agreement with MNS Engineer Incorporated to provide temporary staffing to the planning department. Item 22, correcting a typographical error in amendment number 5 to the agreement between the City of Hawthorne and U.S. Tow for non-exclusive towing and storage services. Mr. Mayor, that concludes the city manager's consent calendar. May I have a motion to approve items?
I'd
Go ahead,
like
miss.
to pull, I'm sorry,
She's going to pull something. Which one?
Yeah. Number 20
Okay,
for
s-
discussion.
Sounds good. All right. I move on all items
Second. What,
except 20, of course.
discussion on 20? Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
It'll be good. Please vote. Councilwoman.
The votes are in. The voting reflects mayor and council approving all items except 20.
Discussion on 20?
Thank you. I'm okay with it like I was last time. We just need that data that we've been asking for. And I'd like to make a direction to our city manager to get that from, we want to see the data from the previous year. And then moving forward, we need to set a set schedule of looking at the progress or whatever the services they're providing for the city.
Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion.
It's been moved and seconded. Please vote.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
The voting reflects mayor and I'm sorry. The voting reflects mayor and council approving item 20.
City attorney's calendar, please, miss.
Item 23, claim for bodily injury by Diane Wade. Recommended motion, staff recommends that the city council deny the claim by Diane Wade. Mr. Mayor, that concludes the city attorney's consent calendar. May I have a motion to approve item 23?
I'll move.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Please vote.
The votes are in. The voting reflects mayor and council approving item 23.
Okay. Discussion item. Councilwoman Reyes English.
Thank you, Mayor. This is with regards to the Hawthorne Aquatic Center procedures for rental permits. Do I have Rec and Park staff here to report out?
Yes, we do.
Thank you.
Quantabui, can you come to the mic, please?
He's right behind you.
Ah, there you go. Thank you, Ms. Bowie. So I'm not familiar, say, for instance, with the processing for rental permits, et cetera. However, there's been a long history with regards to leaps and bounds. I know that there was, a discussion with regards to limiting their time with the summer program, if I'm correct. But can you just give me real quick a synopsis of like what happens? I know the partnership has been going on for a while, but what are the processes for and who are using the pool, not just necessarily this group?
So currently we have 5 rental groups, Leaps and Bound being one.
We've reached out to all 5, letting them know that we offer swim lessons during the summer for approximately 8 weeks. The other 4 groups, they agreed. They decided to change their schedule to accommodate their programs, but leaps and bounds, they didn't. So after many attempts, we've asked them, you could use the pool before swim lessons, after swim lessons, on the weekends, but they declined. So at this point, we really don't know what to do.
Okay, so so we have obviously a unique situation, and I'm only concerned is the ability to have fair access to all, and this includes the most vulnerable groups, special needs, Down syndrome, children that need a way of participating just like a regular child or youth or teen, et cetera, would. So I was hoping, and from what I understand, this is just the summer program that's being limited, correct? That's being limited to
8
their
weeks out of the year.
8 weeks, and then after the 8 weeks, it goes back to a regular schedule, and they would be able to have the hours that they
Previously had.
Yes. So there needs to be a coming to the minds as far as coming together and working on the ability to provide pool access again to everyone. So Vaughn,
Yes.
City Manager, I know we've had a brief discussion about maybe meeting later to discuss how we could work this out. But that's my main concern. My main concern is basically if there is a way to provide hours in the summer like previous, is that possible? If you're saying that's not possible.
This time. It's not at this time. It's not possible.
It's not possible. That's what I want to hear.
Yes, so we're actively working on getting adaptive learning swim lessons for next summer, but at this point, our capacity for all of the classes are at 100%.
Okay.
So there's no room.
Okay.
And I know Sir mentioned last year that they were able to use the pool. This year we had an influx, and the community actually emailed us, and maybe council remember that we didn't have enough classes to offer, that there was a wait list, that there wasn't enough classes. So with that direction of our community members, we enlisted more classes, which limit the permit times that we can offer during the 7 weeks. It's 8 weeks, but we're in the 7th week starting this week.
Yeah. Okay. So I understand that, and I know there's been, lots of families, constituents reaching out to us. So I just wanted to make sure that I heard it right, which was regards to summer hours only, and then basically back to the norm. And then, maybe we could discuss other potential opportunities for, special needs children in other ways, right? In other programming services for the city that we could implement and, engage more. But I truly would like still for a response, to be fair, leaps and bounds to respond. This is just temporarily. This is just an 8-week period. I'd really hate to see, parts of ways just because of this potential, effect that it has on you all, and I understand that. However, I want to be able to serve the community that needs you most, because oftentimes it can't be about us. And I understand that you have, employees that have a set work schedule, and you want to, be able to work around that. However, you can't, and I get that. So ultimately, I would still like to see, an outside meeting, city manager.
Absolutely. We've met
together.
previously. We can meet again, but I would ask for some flexibility, actually.
Yeah, and that's I'm asking
absolutely.
for a meeting to be set aside, and I'll be present.
To the chair.
I'll be present.
My grandbabies actually take advantage of the swim classes. All 3 of them were at the swim lessons last night. I was there, And hats off to you, Kwana, and your staff. You guys did an outstanding job, but it is overwhelming at that place. There was no seating for the family members to sit around. We had to move around. We were limited because of the rules of the pool, which is understandable. I'm not asking for the rules to be changed. We weren't allowed in certain areas because it's unsafe. And your instructors were very good, by the way. I was listening and I was watching as closely as I could on the side that I was allowed to be on. And they're very compassionate, and they know how to handle children that are unruly and everything. But even some of the parents are unruly and wouldn't listen. And it was chaotic. And I don't foresee that getting any better over the summer, only because there's so many people. That place was packed. And so I totally understand leaps and bounds and what they're doing for the community, our community. I just don't know how we're going to be able to do it. There is no space. It's an unsafe situation. And that's just my opinion as a grandparent who is going to be there every day that my kids are going through the swim class, and which most parents are. So there's no place to even sit.
I agree with you.
So in wrapping this up, Sean, let's meet. City manager, we're going to meet, and I want to still have their place after the 8 weeks where they're at today.
Absolutely.
Thank you. And we'll go from there. Appreciate it.
Okay. I have a couple comments. I appreciate you guys bringing this up again. I think we need to address it. I understand what the mission of Leaps and Bounds is, and I think we need to be responsive to all the members of our community, and I believe we are doing so. We've given this an opportunity to happen, but I just really want to highlight that our facilities are not rental facilities. They're for our residents, and we need to prioritize the services that we offer to our residents first. And I think it's important. Leaps and Bounds, I think what you do is an honorable thing, but you're also located at West LA College. You use their facilities. You're also located at Lincoln Middle School, and you also at Santa Monica College. And so based on what your website says, and you have other facilities that you use to rent. So I think it doesn't fall on the city of Hawthorne as if we're any action we take is going to restrict or we're going to be an impeding force in having your services be honored. You have Weisburn facilities over here. I mean, I think they need to be a little bit generous with what they're doing over here, especially since it's public funds over there. I think there's other facilities that you could also look for that should be much more open, that don't have like full recreational programs that we do. So I think our staff has offered you hours, 6 to 9. They've done it after 6 to whenever, but I think I'll be honest, I think it's kind of unfair that it's been represented that there's been a problem between the city and the way our staff has been working with you. Okay? I know you have staff. I know you have staff you need to pay, that they earn a salary. Even though it's a nonprofit, I know that they get paid, and so they need to have a facility to work at in order for you to operate, continue your operations. But I still think we need to prioritize our residents and our facilities. But to that point, responding to the needs of the special need community, one thing that I am kind of actually happy that is that our staff has been looking at hiring an instructor for special needs students, adaptive type of programs, to be able to implement our own programs come fall. So I think that that's a good thing that we're doing, so that we could coordinate that and interweave it within our programming hours and offer those services. Do you have anything to add about that?
No, we heard council mention the need for that population in our city. I have directed staff to actively look for instructors for that type of class. So we're currently looking at that, and hopefully by the fall, we can offer that as a city.
Okay.
Not saying that we're going to eliminate the permit hours from leaps and bounds, but as a city, we have a duty to offer those type of classes to our residents.
And especially because of the discussion we had, and especially because of the difficulty in coming to to some type of agreement, I think we're doing our due diligence to be responsive to all the sectors of our community. So I think that that's something good. Come fall, we'll see where you're at with that, and then we'll see if Leaps and Bounds is willing to accept the hours that we offer them, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right.
And if I could just mention this one more time, this is 52 weeks in a year. This is an 8-week break that we're asking for flexibility from all our permit groups.
Yep.
Thank you.
No, thank you. No, but thank you for bringing this,
Thank you.
Councilwoman.
Yeah, thank you,
it's a-
Kuana. And thank you, Mayor. And I like the fact that, we ultimately reached out to them, right? At one point.
Who?
Our city, yes, reached out to them.
I can't speak to that, yeah.
Our city reached out to them. And so I look forward to, again, our staff to keep looking for programming to assist those
Yes.
in need. Look, I'm going to be passionate about this regardless. My brother was Down syndrome. My sister-in-law was Down syndrome. So I'm passionate about those that are often left out. So I'm going to continue to push, and but I do understand the hiatus of 8 weeks. But that's how come I'm saying don't lose your place, and we'll go from there. So thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. City Treasurer? Your report.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming out tonight. I have nothing to report tonight, but I wish you all a safe and happy 4th of July.
Thank you, ma'am. Ms. City Clerk, do you have anything from your office?
No, we don't have anything to report either, but thank you guys for coming out.
Okay.
Should have reported on your new hair you had yesterday. That was so cute.
Okay. Go ahead, Councilwoman.
Thank you, Mayor. I want to thank everybody for coming out this evening. We appreciate your involvement and participation. I'd like to thank the two of our local businesses that came out this evening for the Hawthorne Business Meet and Greet. We had the Pacific Properties Realty Group. The owner broker is Johan Cisneros, and he is homegrown right here from Hawthorne, went to Hawthorne High and colleges in the South Bay. He's been here since, his business has been here since 2001. So if you're in the market of buying or selling or just want a review of your house to see the value of your home, reach out to them. Once again, it's Pacific Property Realty Group. We also had Unified Credit Union here again this evening, and they've been here for nearly 70 years. And they're all over the United States. Actually, they have 300,000 members, and they have a full range of value-added products and services with low to no fees. So check them out. They're at 14550 Aviation here in Hawthorne. And I wanted to say thank you, Councilwoman Angie Reyes English, and Kimberly Mack, and Gabe Holbert for your team for bringing this PACE program. This sounds like a really good program. I want to do some more research on it, because as a homeowner, if we can find more effective ways to upgrade our home to be more energy efficient, we're all interested in that. So it's a program I'm definitely going to be checking into, so thank you. I want to welcome our new business that stepped up this evening, Amy Cruz and her business. Welcome to the community. And I'd like to give a big shout out, a really big shout out. And let's see what he looks like when I name his name. Greg. He's like, oh, that's me. Yes. For those who may not know yet, What the planning department did under his direction is they actually developed pre-approved ADUs. And this is your accessory dwelling units. They have 6 plans, I think it was, with 6 different variations online already pre-approved, drawn up. I mean, this is phenomenal. I wish I could fit another one on my property. I would do it in a heartbeat, but they won't let me. Okay. But this initiative will significantly reduce both time and permitting fees because they've already been cleared by planning. It makes it easier and more affordable for the homeowner. I'm telling you, getting plans approved when I was doing it, it took over a year, and partially was because of of COVID, but it was almost a year and a half just to get my plans approved. So, not saying that our department is bad. It was just during the COVID season, and so it was just chaotic for everybody, for every city. So, but this is it's already pre-approved, ready to go. If it fits on your property and you like the style, choose one of the styles you like. It's already done, so that's huge. And for the city manager, I have 2 questions. The no dumping signs, I know that's come up several times, but I don't remember if we made a decision on how we were going to handle that.
Yes, it's in the planning progress. It was just two meetings ago, so I'm working with Public Works to create a sign with the ordinance with fines that was actually mentioned to have listed there. So once we get them produced, we'll have them up, and I will report back in the designated areas that we posted the signage.
Okay, perfect. I just needed my memory refreshed.
Not a problem.
And as far as the parking survey, is that just commercial, or are we doing commercial and residential?
With that, I don't want to misspeak. To my memory, this parking study is for the downtown thoroughfare and looking at permit parking in certain areas of the city. I know we did have a resident that spoke about her area. I will have to double check the presentation with staff to see if that area is included. So what I could recommend is bringing back Public Works to answer those questions.
Okay, please. I'd appreciate that. Thank you.
No problem.
And then as a final wrap up, I want to applaud all the young people that came in this evening. Being involved in your political process, debating it and putting your views out there is wonderful, and you have to stay involved. And the city does have numerous resources on the website for you to reach out to, and it's being updated because our city is actively out there researching and trying to find more resources for our community. And I want to thank everybody that stepped up. Your involvement is essential, and if you wish to change federal laws, I would also recommend that you reach out to your congressperson. In this area, it's Congresswoman Maxine Waters. She's the one that can speak on our behalf when it comes to federal law and changes. And we need to, if this is something that you want to have changed, have a conversation with her also. So thank you. That's all.
Thank you, ma'am. Councilwoman.
Excuse me. Can I say something?
Go back.
I forgot to say yes. I'm sorry.
Oh, you did. Okay.
Yeah, I know, right?
Right.
No, I just wanted to say kudos. I don't know who released the video from the Juneteenth celebration that is on our social media, but that video, hands down, and I'm not just saying that because it's Hawthorne, it was the best video I've seen. I've seen other cities, I've seen other Juneteenth venues, I've seen a lot of these videos, but ours was done so well and so beautifully done. So I don't know if that's the IT, the television department, whoever cut and edited that video did a awesome job. And I've really wanted to say that. So I don't know who it is, Vaughn.
Media department under Eric Chavez's leadership.
Yes, the media department under Eric Chavez. They did a great job. I don't know if you overlooked that video, but when you see it compared to every other city, every other Juneteenth celebration, that video was definitely television quality. Well done.
And I second that motion.
Thank you. Councilwoman Angie Reyes English.
Thank you, Mayor. Just real quick, I think we had a good discussion, good council meeting this evening. I appreciate everyone's input and passion. Let me just make mention real quick of the PACE program. I thank you, Vaughn, for helping assist with this. Again, there was 2 different PACE programs that look similar, exactly the same. PACE out of LA provides assistance with utilities. If you've fallen in the rears with regards to paying your utilities, that's one PACE that you could get a hold of. However, this PACE has more to do with, a greener community. And so I thank them for coming and doing that presentation, and also to Ms. Mack for assisting in facilitating that meeting for me. I'd like to make mention that there's a couple events. Wednesday, June 25th, I think that's tomorrow, right? Tomorrow? Yeah. Coffee with a Cop at McDonald's at 3571 Hawthorne Boulevard from 8 to 10. On Wednesday last week, or was it last week? Yeah, last week, June 18th, had the opportunity to go do the re-unveiling of the Beach Boys Memoriam, or not, I'm sorry, not memoriam, but it was the
Monument.
Plaque, the monument, and then ultimately, because of the passing, we were able to honor him with that unveiling. So that was a great event, and thank you to staff and Department of Public Works and everyone that assisted with that. I really appreciate that. I'm not sure if we could maybe have someone from our senior services division. I'm looking at the harbor cruise that was last week, Wednesday, June 18th, Shoreline Village. You know, the fee was $5 to go on a cruise. I'd like to hear from the senior services division. If we could have staff maybe come out and report out on what's happening at our senior center. I know they're looking at the development there of the new senior center being, constructed. However, I'd like to hear from the Senior Services Division and see what's happening there. We've got Movies in the Park coming up July 11th. Looks like it's, I don't know who that. There's three movies, July 11th, July 18th, and July 25th. Thank you, Vaughn. I don't know if we still have those bikes stored away, but I'd like to see how we could raffle some bikes at the movie giveaway so that we could entertain our youth this summer with a possible bike and the movies. So Sonic 3, and then Minecraft, and then Transformers. So great movies there. And then Moana 2. So those are all fun. Park programs, June 24th to August 16th. Make sure to take a look at all the great activities happening at our Hawthorne Community Services Department, and lots of great things there. And thank you for the great community book. I don't know if you guys had an opportunity to see this, but great book with the pictures here. And then also, real quick, I just want to thank our presenters that we had tonight, and ultimately look forward to seeing the Cordary location develop. Long time overdue. I only think it's fair, since we had a lot of individuals here addressing the issues on enforcement and being saddened by that, and I'm seeing the same thing, and I'm saddened by it as well. I want to address some of the things that were mentioned that truly we don't have jurisdiction over, and more importantly, there's just things that we don't involve ourselves in. And let me just read real clearly here. There was a press release made on June 10th that said very specifically that Hawthorne does not participate in that. And so I need to read it because I know it was done on social media, but I'm going to go ahead and read this. Hawthorne, California, June 10th, 2025. The Hawthorne City Council is aware of the recent ICE raids in our community. We understand the fear and anxiety these events can cause many of our residents and their families. We want you to know that the City of Hawthorne stands with you during these unsettling times. We believe in the dignity and humanity of every resident, regardless of immigration status. Our city is committed to ensuring all community members feel safe and supported. We know these raids can create confusion, stress, and uncertainties for families, and we want to assure you that you are not alone. The City of Hawthorne is actively working to connect residents with trusted resources, including legal and community organizations, to help them navigate these challenges. We encourage anyone needing assistance or concerns to visit our resident resources page at our cityofhawthorne.org/residents/residents-resources. There you'll find valuable information and links to services that can help support you and your loved ones. Together we are stronger. We stand united in our commitment to protecting and caring for our residents. Please remember that you and your families are valued members of this community, and we will continue to advocate for your safety and well-being. So for myself, I do condemn the raids and how they're being made. It's truly sad and a lot of unfairness as to how they're doing it and how they're going about it. I don't agree on how it's being enforced, and basically just snatching and taking people, assuming that they're illegal. And that's not fair. That's not right. I've been in this career in working for government in various agencies. I've done a lot of casework myself. I've had constituents that I've worked with in my years of service and have provided resources and assistance to those individuals, and even those that, I don't know whether it's either here in the city of Hawthorne or where they're from, just to provide information and resources. I was the one that had asked way before the raids even came in to make sure to provide the resources that we need on our website so that folks can tap into those resources and understand exactly what they're looking for when it comes to assistance. There's immigration assistance, but there's also legal legal rights that they need with regards to violation of their rights. So a lot of passion tonight, a lot of some misinformation. However, I don't necessarily think we've been silent. We've put out a press release. We've made it resources available. We've even have been giving out the red card that basically says their right, their Fourth Amendment, Fifth Amendment right. And we'll continue to do that, Vaughn. And I think it's very important that if folks want to receive, a further assistance, especially the red cards that we have, that you call in and you make that request made so that we could mail that out to you. I don't think there's a problem in doing that if there's that much fear that you can't come into City Hall and get that. So, I think it's important that we do that. I've seen the video with regards to the pregnant woman, being apprehended due to interfering in an enforcement. My concern is also, City Attorney, to look into why we have working individuals at the Hawthorne Mall on a Sunday. So I want to know what's going on at the Hawthorne Mall, and I'd like to have that cease and desist, and assuring that a letter goes out to that entity, the Charles Company, to make sure that stops once and for all. Because I think at the end of the day, it's really sad that folks are having to stay home and not go to work and not participate in providing for their families. And again, I don't agree on how it's being done. Our police does not intervene. They will not intervene because it's not our jurisdiction and it's not something that we do. Are we being made aware that they're here? No, we are not. Just like other communities, they're just popping up. And that's really frightful too. With regards to unrecognized identification and identifying themselves, that's wrong. They should be able to provide who they are and what agency they're coming from. So I do, want to see some type of support from us. I don't know how we could make that. I know there's current policies in the legislature right now in Sacramento that is being, drafted and ultimately, taking a look at that. We'll take a look at that, Mayor, and see, what that looks like, and if we can maybe sign on to that for support, because it's important that, you shouldn't be masked up. You shouldn't have to just, hit people with their weapons or knock them down or grab their hair or just, very aggressive, apprehensions. And so it's really sad. And I think it needs to be condemned because it's not right. I know this is lengthy. However, it's something that you've been seeing on TV. It's something that we've been witnessing all over. And there's just certain things that, that's even that much more frightening. You have a right to a peaceful protest. I don't agree, and I condemn any violent protests that are destroying, burning, tagging, whatever you want to, that is not a peaceful protest. And so I condemn that type of behavior too. And oftentimes there's just bad actors that want to participate and engage just to do that, just to inflict that type of destruction. And so again, for families that need resources, information, we're here to provide that. And anything I could do to be helpful, yeah, it's a sad situation. I have the cards that we've been passing out. I just got my first one. However, if I could get some, I'll be happy to pass those along. And if there's other services and resources that I come up with, Vaughn, we want to make sure that we put everything on the website. And I did use the AI bot. What is it, bot?
Nate.
Nate, is it Nate now? Okay. And I was asking questions, like immigration questions and things like this, and it doesn't recognize that. So I think what it did recognize is maybe when you have to be specific and use the word resources or something like this. But yeah, I think we're going to continue to come together as a council and maybe implement some other ways of being helpful. However, I just want to make sure that things that were said here tonight, that folks truly understand that we're not aware that ICE is here. We don't interfere in regards to ICE, and I mean we, the city or the police. And it's really shameful, and I'm just going to leave it there. And then I also just want to, there was one other thing. I know that, Vaughn, you had asked the council if we were interested in taking a tour of is it the Public Works Yard or the Senior Center?
Both. The tour would be the progress of our new rebuilt senior center and the Public Works Yard. They're on the same property.
Okay. Okay, so I don't know when you're going to be doing that, but I'd like to participate in that. And then I think that should do it for the most part. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman Angie Reyes-English, and thank you for taking the opportunity to share your feelings on that issue. I know you weren't here at the last meeting, so I'm really happy that you were able to, express yourself.
Thank you.
Mayor Pro Tem Alex Montero.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Again, good evening, everyone. I hope you guys enjoyed this meeting tonight. First, I want to say again, thank you for the council to approve the Cape Verde Association Olympic Committee. Then we're going to try to be a good host for them in 2028. I appreciate all the support. I want to say again, congratulations to our sergeant. No, he's not a sergeant. He's the detective Gonzalez for the Police Officer of the Year on behalf of the Kiwanis and the Rotary that put that together, and the other gentleman from the fire department. I apologize. My head is in the cloud. I'm still, I have a big headache right now. So my sinus. So I'm kind of like all over the map. But I want to say that Juneteenth was, to me, was a very successful event that were held on Saturday, June 14. I want to thank you, all my committee, from Vaughn to Kiwanis to Eric Chavez to Public Works, the Community Service Department, all, even for come out and make that event possible, because we had great entertainment, great music. We got a lot of food trucks, so people enjoyed that day. So thank you, and I'm glad that you enjoyed the video. And kudos again to Eric Chavez, because I think it was a great event, despite what was happening in our neighborhood. That it was a day of protest, a peace protest against what's going on in our country. So that was pretty good to get people out of their house and come to have fun and not thinking about ICE and raids and politics. Again, Miss Angie English mentioned about the Beach Boy. Yeah, the Beach Boy Monument. We celebrate the 20th year of the Beach Boy Monument. anniversary that day, and in the same week, we were going to do that. Wilson passed away. So that was a great time to celebrate his life and memorialize that monument is even more important for coming years. People come to visit from all over the world. I will ask Mr. Mayor to adjourn this meeting on the Alice Hume's passed away. So Dick Hume's wife, a longtime resident of Hawthorne, and she was part of the Hawthorne Historic Society and the President's Council, et cetera, et cetera. So she was very involved in the community, and we know they've been live here for many, many years. So the funeral actually is going to be on June 28th, Saturday, at the Good Shepherd Lutheran Church in Inglewood, 902 Maple Avenue in Inglewood, 902 Maple Avenue in Inglewood at 10 a.m. in the morning. And I'm pretty sure the city is going to be sending some flowers. I appreciate that. I want to say, thank you for all the presentation. Was good, and again, I want to. It was good to see that we have the Cordero project on the books and vote for it, because it's been a long time. That parcel of land has been empty for a long time, so it's good to have low-income housing there, especially affordable housing that will make us comply with the RENA numbers, right? Because we have to make sure that, because Hawthorne is supposed to be building 1,700 units, that's going to be affordable housing. So at least those 92 units will go for low-income families. So that's just really good to minimize our numbers. I have to say, I feel the pain of these young people coming and cry and tell us to do something, right? Because all of us are sons of immigrants. We all came here on a boat or on a plane. Some of us sometimes came on the bottom of the boat. Some of us come on the top. But this United States was made of immigrants. And I myself, I'm an immigrant. And I agree with the gentleman said that even me, I have to walk out of the house with my passport, my United States passport, because never know if I see something, if I intervene, they might try to arrest me. And then, until I don't prove that I'm a citizen, they might deport me to, I don't know, El Salvador or Guantanamo Bay. But we've been seeing the news, we've been seeing those raids, we've been seeing unspeakable, to me, I never thought this day would come into the United States when we saw year after year dictatorship in Africa, in South America, military, and people killing each other. People disappear, people putting in concentrated camps. And now it's happened right here in 2025. So that is where I feel their pain. And I understand for them to say that we are silent, but we were not silent because, I spoke from that podium 2 weeks ago about my feelings about immigration, that Congress needs to act and create a comprehensive immigration reform. Because any president can go to White House and do whatever they want to do. And Trump told us that he's going to do it, and he's been doing it. People vote on him. So I agree with the other gentleman who said, you have to get out to vote. If you do not vote, if you don't think that democracy is based on our vote, then you're completely wrong. Because now you have proof that if you don't do or get out to vote or raise your voice and talk about issues, you're going to be a part of the misery. So I don't know what we can do. We already put some press release. We put some resource in our website. I got this red card from a partnership with Holly Mitchell's office, our supervisor, that dropped these red cards in my office. So I passed that to the kids to give to someone that they know might need this card. So we have this card also at the city clerk's office, so they can come and pick it up, or we can mail them out. But I know that our city, we're doing our best. And our police department have to do their best. And they are law enforcement. And sometimes we depend on the federal government to keep safe, health, and a good neighbors. We cannot just say we're going to stop ICE, because that is not the job of our police department. Our police department is to protect our citizens. But federal government, and you see what happened in LA. Trump sent the National Guard and even the Marines. So he's violating all the Constitution of the United States. 4th Amendment, 10th Amendment, he doesn't care. So for us, we can just pass laws or pass resolution or say that, the city, we're going to stop the unmarked cars or we're going to stop the masked people. Yeah, they might be, maybe they are criminals. They might be criminals that Donald Trump and Department of Immigration hired to go after these poor citizens, immigrant that is doing the job here. They're the one who sometimes clean up our streets or, pick up our crops, fruits, vegetables. But he's not understand that American is a fabric of diversity. So for us here in Hawthorne, we do our best. We're going to try to give resources. If we can, I can ask the city manager to look into, maybe got some money to, get some assistance for lawyers. But we have to look at our budget, because first we have to make sure that our constituent and our staff are all taken care of. But things that we need to think rational. Maybe our city manager, our city attorney, and our police department can sit down and figure it out. What can we do, what we cannot do. I know the state, like Ms. Angie mentioned, they're trying to pass unmasked and unmarked car protection not to enter in our city. So maybe that's something that we can look into it, or maybe send a letter of support to the state, say we support that bill. That will go across California. But I said my head goes to these young kids, and I'm glad them to stay passionate about it. And I said, yes, I understand. But make sure on November 2026, get out to vote, because that's the way change would happen. Thank you. Have a good night.
Oh man, thank you, colleagues, for expressing yourself. Every single time I hear people talk about it, I hear about people's frustration. It just hits me in the heart. And I know this country is a nation of laws, right? We'll accept that it's a nation of laws. And let's say there's people out there that'll say, hey, the government's following the law or whatever, But unfortunately, I have to say it and call it out. This nation's also a nation of inconsistencies. This might be something that appears to be targeting Mexicans or Latinos. This isn't the first time that we went through a removal. We went through a removal as Mexicans in particular, after they had enough of us helping out during the World War II effort as braceros. They got us on trains and shipped us back to Mexico. There was a time when Germans were discriminated. I think the current president's background is German. There was a time when it was, they were discriminated against. There was a time when Italians were discriminated against. There was a time when the Irish were discriminated against. There was a time when the Chinese came and built the railroads in our country. And once the railroads were built, somebody had the bright idea of sending them back, getting rid of them. And especially in Washington and Oregon, there a lot of that happened. Catholics were discriminated against. I'm talking about discriminations, but also unfair treatment and discrepancies. I know that we have the Constitution and everything, but It seems like it's a select. It was only until a certain point where people were considered whole people, when people weren't considered 2/3 or 1/3 of the numbers. There was a time when the Japanese were corralled and put out in concentration camps. So this nation is like law and order, but there's a lot of inconsistencies too. But at the same time, this nation is a beautiful one. It offers us liberties that we would not find anywhere else. And anywhere else, I would not be in other countries. There's a reason why my family came from Mexico. We'd be in Mexico right now if it wasn't for like what the government does over there and the corruption that takes place over there. There wouldn't be a reason why Cuban Americans would be coming over here if it weren't for these things that Castro does and the communism and everything. So, I mean, I could go on and on and on, okay? But our duty, and what you saw today with the students and the young peoples and the adults who came and expressed themselves, is wanting to make sure that this country and its laws work as best as possible and that they're followed as best as possible. I cannot take that away, and I commend everybody for having come up here for that. Even though all these things have happened in the past, it's still like the best damn country in the world, man. Where else do you get to come and protest and express yourselves like we do here? In other countries, you get put in jail, man, and you don't come out. You don't come out. There's people who don't want to stand for the flag, for the salute, or some people doing signs and cussing a storm. You know, they get to do that here. You know, it's just, I could go on and on and on. So, yeah. Okay, so I just think we need to I think it's good. We just need to fine tune what we have here. And I think there were some questions that were answered today about our involvement. You took some of the words out of my mouth. You did as well. You did as well. So, but I think to that effect, I think it'd be a good thing if I'm just gonna make a suggestion, and we'd love to see what you guys think. Of course, it's not gonna be just me. It has to be. Chief, can you come up real quick to the podium? Not a response or anything, sir. But I think the questions have come up as to, we know already that you can't. We know that there's laws in the state that prohibit us from doing stuff. There's we're just following what our state laws are, and you know what's been laid out for us, and we have no desire to do some of the things that have been are feared that we might be doing. Would you be able to put an ad hoc committee of some of your peers within the PD, et cetera, so you as a police department could respond to some of the things that were brought up here? Is that something you could do, sir?
I think that that's something that we can very easily accomplish for yourself and for the members of the city council. I would only ask for the consideration that anything that ad hoc committee comes up with in writing, that you give us an opportunity to present it to the city attorney's office first.
Okay.
To therefore make sure that we're not making a statement independent of what state law restricts us from doing and not impeding on the federal government's responsibility.
Thank you, because I think just there's questions that were asked. I mean, we just got to answer them, you know?
Can I ask?
Yes, sir.
Can the chief tell the city whether the police department complies with SB 54 or not?
Yeah, go ahead.
If I'm free to respond to that,
just do it now, too.
absolutely 100%. The city of Hawthorne and the Hawthorne Police Department have been in full compliance with Senate Bill 54 from the California State Legislature since its inception in January of 2018.
Can you explicitly say what that law says that we shouldn't be doing? Can you, just so people can hear it?
This is California state law that prohibits local law enforcement from engaging in information or intelligence sharing with our federal partners in cases where our federal partners are enforcing an immigration violation only.
Okay.
There are several notable exceptions to that rule, but they involve prior convictions, not arrests, convictions within a specified period of time for violent or serious felonies.
Are you informed? Is there any communication between you and ICE where they tell you, hey, you know, we're going to be there, just hey, listen, or whatever?
No, Mr. Mayor, there is not. Generally speaking, it's my belief, and I want to be very clear about that, it's my belief that the federal immigration authorities are more than aware of what California law enforcement is restricted from engaging in, and therefore they do not include us in their plans.
Okay. So if you could still have that ad hoc committee and just listen to some of the things that were asked today, the concerns on topics that came up, and if you could just see how we could just formalize this, maybe some points, just to inform the community.
Certainly, I don't think that'll be a problem.
Are you guys okay with that? Yeah. You okay with that? Que se encargue él. Yeah. All right. I think it's good. Thank you. And city attorney, of course. Absolutely. I think it's valid questions that came up. Okay? Yes.
I don't know, Vaughn, real quick, IT, do we have what is it, Wordly? Do we still have Wordly?
Yes, we do. If you can change the screen, please.
I was just curious because,
So during the meeting, it's not on now because I don't know what happened, but in the beginning of the meeting that we did have the QR code that displayed the Worley app.
yeah.
Yes, there it is.
I was not aware that we had a presenter that was going to speak in Spanish. And I was like, wait, where's Wordly? Where's Wordly? It should be translating up on the board there. It was translating?
Yeah, the system over there is what's handling it.
But it was translating?
You have to download the app it's all on your phone, but yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. What I'm saying is, like, if we're going to watch YouTube or if somebody's watching on channel 22, is it transcribing in English?
I'll look into that with staff. I know the problem that we were having during the meeting, that there was a lot of background noise and words were not being translated correctly
Got it.
when we had it on the main mic. But with the new City Hall, we will have the technology to stream translations in the chamber moving forward.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you. Make sure you are careful who you vote for. Make sure that you're aware of what's happening. Make sure you could, the difference you make happens at the ballot box. You know? That's also, if you don't like something, you change it by voting, by supporting the candidates and the laws that, you know, are hurt you. So it's not just, remember, it's not just having a candidate. It's also the state legislatures, the Congress that passes bills and everything. You have to look at it. It's not just what the president or the governors say. It's what happens at the state legislature, because there's a lot of things that have been coming up here for us that have been hurting our ability to our land use policy, right? So it's not just what the governors say. It's not what, no, the more immediate things are these housing policies, the Senate bills that, you know, come from the South Bay COG, they alert us. So, Mr. City Manager, could you still just make sure, well, if you could, Mayor Pro Tem, if you could continue bringing us some of these things that we need to watch out for. It's very important, sir. Okay. All right. Thank you, guys. I would like to adjourn this meeting in memory of Alice Hune. She was a great lady, Dick's wife, and longtime members of the community. I remember them from the Kiwanis Fair over there at the Memorial Park that they used to have a long time ago. I remember her and him. And so, if we could just, like, moment of silence, please. Okay. May she rest in peace. Okay. All right, this meeting's adjourned at 9:02.